What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 10 Hectoliters Chapter 236 Infinite Airspace, Kyoka Suigetsu. At this moment, Long Aowu had innocent eyes and murmured, I must be dazzled. How can I have space props that can collect the corpse of a god? He is a god-level strongman. Even after death, the whole body is covered with laws. Existence. How could it be taken away by space props? Could it be that that boy's tower is a star weapon that transcends divine weapons? It's impossible. In this middle-level world, there can't be a star weapon. Otherwise, several major kings would have been vying for it. At this time, Qixing ignored Long Aowushan's muttering to himself. After collecting the divine corpse, he directly turned his attention to the dragon blood warrior behind him. You two, oh, no, there are three. Yan Linglong is also awake. You three have seen my secret, now you have only two choices. The first is to die. Second, as long as you sign the contract in my hand, you can live. Quote. Dragon Blood Warrior heard this and was furious. Boy, are you drunk? One of us has transcended the second level, and the other has transcended the third level. Even if Yan Linglong is captured by you, he is at least a strong man who has transcended the second level, and beside you, although your beauty is at the third level of transcendence, do you think he can protect you by himself? Haha, I don't need his protection. Seeing that Zanji was silent, Qixing looked at her side. Long Aowushan, what about you? How did you choose? Little guy, although I admire you very much and want to help you, you are simply insulting our intelligence by asking us to sign this unknown contract. The strong have the dignity of the strong. I know how you can become stronger instantly, but I think you still can't pose a threat to us, right? Oh, if that's the case, then I'll beat you until you surrender. Let's go together. Otherwise, I'm afraid you won't have a chance to take action. The boy is arrogant. After saying that, Long Aowushan's figure disappeared instantly. When he reappeared, his fist as big as a sandbag had already hit Qixing's face, while Qixing was solid. After receiving Long Aowushan's punch, his face was hit. They were twisted and deformed, and people were blown backwards for thousands of meters. When Qixing stood still, a mouthful of bloody phlegm was spat out by Qixing. Yes, your strength is good. You deserve to be a strong person who has transcended the third level. In fact, I have long wanted to test your real strength. So use your full strength. Otherwise, you will regret it. Quote. Boy, I don't know where you get the confidence to think you can beat me. Very well, you succeeded in irritating me. I won't hold back this time. As he said that, Long Aowushan pushed out his big hand instantly, and suddenly, there was a terrifying strong wind from all directions, hitting Qixing. Qixing didn't even have a chance to dodge, and was blown into the sky by this terrifying palm wind. The next moment, a long halberd formed in Long Aowushan's hand and was thrown out. The halberd body cut through the sky and hit Qixing's chest head-on. With a muffled pop, the 7 stars turned into smoke and disappeared into the sky. Clone, how could it be? I clearly felt that it was physical. Why did it suddenly become a clone? This shouldn't be the case. But where is that guy? Is he a space user? When Long Aowushan was looking for Qixing's figure suddenly appeared behind Long Aowushan. Long Aowushan only heard a loud shout in his ear, Kaio Fist. Then I felt that the surrounding environment kept going backwards. When Long Aowushan understood what was going on, he had broken nearly 100 meters of trees and stopped limply 1,000 meters away. Advertisement. It was just a punch that hit Long Aowushan's waist from behind. In an instant, Long Aowushan disappeared from the eyes of several people. At this time, Long Aowushan, who was lying 1,000 meters away, still didn't know how he was attacked. I felt extremely painful all over my body, and my body was hunched over like a shrimp, falling to the ground and twitching. The disdainful dragon-blooded war princess was standing beside her, with that disdainful expression fixed on her face. Is it a punch? Just a punch. How can this be? At this moment, Dragon Blood Warrior G never disdained to see her. Her face was full of disbelief. Seeing that Qixing was only 5 meters away from him, he immediately stepped back 1,000 meters. Only then did Dragon Blood Warrior have the courage to look at Qixing carefully. The moment he saw Qixing's face, he exclaimed, Transcendence to the 4th level. How could you? What kind of ninja technique is this to enhance strength? I have never heard of it. And when he carefully observed Qixing's body, he discovered that Qixing was already wrapped in a blue flame. Circles of blue ripples radiated around his feet. And the terrifying wave of air has already appeared, causing all of you to sway wildly. When Dragon Blood Warrior G saw Qixing like this, she finally knew that she and Long Aowushan had lost completely. This guy is not only invincible in strength, but also very alert. The two of us may not be able to escape. Now we can only find a way to surprise him and use the soul forbidden insect. Maybe there is still a glimmer of hope. At this time, Dragon Blood Warrior Ji Chuanian Long Aowushan said, if you are not dead, come here quickly. This kid is too strong. Come and restrain me and prepare to use the soul forbidden insect. Although Long Aowushan was very unhappy after hearing this, he still swallowed a pill, arched his body, and flew to the side of Dragon Blood Warrior. But his left hand kept covering his waist. It was obvious that Qixing's punch just now had broken his waist.
But even so, he knew that if they didn't unite, there might really be no hope for the two of them.
I saw Long Wushan, who was offering the old waste, as soon as he appeared, making seals with one hand, and kept spitting out thick fog from his mouth, trying to block Qixing's vision, but he was obviously thinking too much. The thick fog had just risen. In the forest of Noda, a hurricane came from nowhere. After several people roared around, the thick fog disappeared. Just half a second before the thick fog disappeared, Dragon Blood Warrior had spit out a cicada pupa from her small mouth.
The cicada chrysalis bursts open instantly when it encounters the air, flying towards the 7 stars at extremely fast speeds. Qixing had long known that Dragon Blood Warrior would use Soul Forbidden Insect, Domain, infinite airspace, and countless folded spaces invisible to the naked eye suddenly appeared around her. But this little bug is also extremely weird. It can travel through the folded space of the 7 stars without any restrictions, and it is getting closer and closer to the 7 stars. Nanahoshi let out another loud shout, Infinite Sky, Kyoka Suigetsu. At the moment Kyoka Suigetsu shouted, the folded spaces that were originally invisible to the naked eye in the surrounding kilometer space turned into countless transparent folded mirrors. The mirrors reflect each other and fold again. The bug kept shuttling and flying inside, but no matter how he shuttled, he could not fly out of the Kyoka Suigetsu space. It was not until a minute later that the bug finally collapsed from exhaustion and collapsed in the realm of the 7 stars. Flapping wings. When Dragon Blood War Princess saw this situation, she was immediately confused. I have never heard that the way to avoid the Soul Forbidden Insect is to exhaust him to death. The guy in front of me once again refreshed my world view. Chapter 237 Recovering Wushan and Zanji. Wushan, who is this guy? He has so many terrifying methods. What should we do now? At this time, Long Wushan could not imagine that the Qixing in front of him had grown to this point. Who cares who he is? The most important thing now is his life. How about taking a look at what is written in that boy's contract first? We're making a decision. Dragon Blood War Princess curled her lips after hearing this. This is the only way. Just when Qixing's attack was about to land on the two of them, they both raised their hands and said, "Stop, little friend. We have something to say."
Qixing's face is full of questions at this moment. What's up? The two of us are discussing that. We want to see the contents of the contract. I don't know if it's okay. When Qixing heard this, he staggered and immediately reacted. Aren't you going to resist stubbornly? Don't you have the dignity of a strong man? Why have you changed your mind now?
Ha ha ha, little friend, don't worry about those details. In front of your little life, nothing seems so important. Ha ha, okay, I'll give you 1 minute. Anyone who doesn't make a decision after 1 minute will die. After saying this, 2 parchment scrolls flew towards the two of them, and at the same time, a black scroll flew towards Yan Linglong. Why do I have to sign this thing too? Qixing didn't look at her, but said softly, if you don't sign, you will die. At this moment, Yan Linglong had never experienced such grievances. She could only bear the sadness and shed her own blood. The moment the contract was successful, Yan Linglong didn't know why, but her original hatred for Qixing dissipated little by little. Instead, this guy seemed to be the person closest to her. What's going on? Why is this feeling lingering no matter what? Kagaya-ji knew what was going on, so she could only pat Yan Linglong on the shoulder and said, you will get used to it soon. Yan Linglong didn't know what Kagaya-ji meant, so she could only continue to recover from her injuries. After looking at the contract for half a minute, Long Wushan and Long Zanji spit out a drop of blood essence from their mouths and dropped it on the contract.
In an instant, 2 golden lights enveloped the two of them. The energy that the two of them had exhausted was restored to its original state in an instant. Long Wushan said in surprise, what on earth is this? It has such a sound effect. I feel like even my bottleneck of transcending the 3rd level has been loosened.
Is this really just an ordinary contract? Just as the golden light enveloped the two of them, their thoughts were also changing subtly. A few minutes later, when the two looked at Qixing again, Qixing's handsome face looked so friendly. My subordinate Long Wushan. My subordinate Dragon Blood Warrior Princess. See young master. Okay, get up. From today on, the two of you are my Uchiha Qixing. But there is no need to reveal your identity for the time being. After the secret realm of the god's tomb is over, I will call on everyone to overthrow the rule of this pure land. Quote. And you are the key to this mission. And you, Linglong. I understand, young master. When the time comes, you take my clone and go to Shinigami to recover. I will control Shinigami from now on. But young master, Master Shinigami's strength has reached the peak of the 8th level of transcendence. He is only 1 step away from breaking through to the limit of transcendence. Do you care about me? Don't worry, if I'm not sure, do you think I will die? Advertisement. Okay, 1 fairy bean each, you leave now. Continue your mission. Once you leave this world, the plan to subvert the Pure Land will officially begin. Yes, young master, we will definitely complete the mission. After saying that, the two took the fairy beans in their hands and swallowed them directly. But after Dragon Blood Zanji saw Qixing, Xiaojuju's heart beat loudly. That young master, let Wu Tian recover his life alone. I want to stay and take care of the young master.
Zanji will be the young master's person from now on. I want to stay. I hope the young master won't dislike you if you serve him daily by his side.
Hearing this, Qixing didn't say anything. But at this time, Kagayaji's face was covered with frost. A cold voice spread across the open space, he can take care of himself without bothering you, right? Qixing. This, ahem, is the case. Although you and I have signed a contract, it is not a slave relationship. You are free, you just need to work hard to do what you should do. Still, remember, don't expose your identity for the time being. Wait for the end of the secret realm of the Tomb of Gods. Okay, go ahead, do what you have to do. Upon seeing this, Dragon Blood Warrior Ji said, there are too many beautiful people around this young master, so I'm afraid I won't be able to find opportunities for the time being. But as time goes by, there will always be opportunities. Then the two of them said in unison, I will definitely live up to the young master's expectations. As soon as the words fell, the two figures disappeared at the same time. At this moment, Long Aowushan and Long Shizanji were finally recovered by Qixing. The plan to capture the Pure Land world will be given another boost. At this moment, Qixing looked at Kagayaji in front of him and said, do you have any objection to me letting Linglong go privately? Of course not, even I am your prisoner, so who am I to say anything to you? Well, I understand how important Linglong is to you, but don't worry, she signed my contract and she can't escape my grasp no matter where she is. I see. That's good. Now I have one more thing that I need your help with.
Explain? I will break through the realm in my Tianji tower, and this tower itself has no ability to move. I hope you can take the tower to the God's Tomb Cemetery. When you get there, I may also succeed in breaking through. Okay, no problem. Leave this matter to me, and I, Lord Gigi. Hey, can't you little thing get out of your own forest? Humph, as long as I think about it, there is nothing that Gigi can't do. Let's go. Qixing, no longer entangled, summoned the Tianji tower in an instant, became the size of a palm, and entered the Tianji tower in a flash.
Kagayaji reached out and held the Tianji tower. This thing was actually weightless. Gigi smiled and said, isn't that right? This kid has a lot of secrets and even more treasures. When I met him, I sensed that there were treasures in his body that were beyond the level of this world, so I pretended to let him catch it. But I still haven't figured out what his treasure is, and this little tower is also an unexpected surprise. You little clever guy, I didn't expect that in 10,000 years, you would have become a guardian elf. Time is such a wonderful thing. Yes, Lord Lishan, I never thought that I, Gigi, would be able to see you again. Qixing did not hear the conversation between the two at this time. After all, Qixing was preparing for a breakthrough at this moment. If Qixing knew about it, he would definitely curse the system. This green-skinned monster lived for 10,000 years. Why is it not displayed in the system? Chapter 238 Breakthrough 1, The Key to Transcendence, Releasing the Shackles of the Body. Of course, this is all for later. At this time, Lord Gigi was standing on Kagayaji's shoulder, with a rare blush on his green face. Kagayaji saw Gigi's excitement and said, Gigi, is it really okay for you to step out of your own territory?
In that case, you won't be able to transform when you are in danger. Don't worry, Lord Lishan. Over the past thousands of years, I have tried it countless times and I have found a way to transform outside my territory without causing too much loss. Oh, then I'm relieved. Hold on tight, it's time to speed up. As he spoke, the stellar's speed surged. One person, one tower and one elf, riding on the head of the stellar's head, quickly disappeared from the place. At the same time, Qixing, who is in the Tianji tower, is making final preparations to break through and transcend.
I saw Qixing taking out the two coffins first, one with white hair and a childish face, the other old and withered. But even though death has been approaching 10,000 years, there is still endless life above the two corpses. Qixing also secretly smacked his tongue. If the system reaches the god level, can it really stop the erosion of time? Ding, no, it will just exist for a longer time. Once a person enters the realm of transcendence, he or she will have a lifespan of 10,000 years, and once a person crosses the level of a god, his lifespan will soar to 100,000 years. Close black lens bracket. Furthermore, after death, the divine body can exist in the long river of time for 10,000 years without decaying under unnatural circumstances. But once the 10,000 years pass, it will be absorbed by nature. Close black lens bracket. I see. After understanding something, Qixing took out the key to transcendence. Look carefully. The system will check this golden key. Ding. Target. Key to transcendence. This is the shortcut to breakthrough to a transcendent state and the key to unlocking the secrets of your own body. Having the key to transcendence can open the shackles, veins of your body in advance. After the pulse gate is opened, as long as there is enough energy, you can successfully break through to the realm of transcendence. Close black lens bracket. Ding. It has been detected that the key to transcendence contains abnormal soul power. Should I spend 1,000 points for an in-depth inspection? Close black lens bracket. Forget it. There's no need for that. Can the system and humans break through to transcendence through their own efforts?
Ding. Of course you can, it just takes 10 times the time. Close black lens bracket. Oh. Qixing, who had inquired about everything, finally understood why this key to transcendence was so precious. At this moment, Qixing was no longer nagging, his whole body was trembling with energy, and he directly refined the key to transcendence into his body. At this moment, Qixing's body made a crackling sound. The veins all over his body opened at this moment, and endless qi flowed out of Qixing's body like crazy as the veins opened.
Forehead. What's going on with the system? Ding. Host opens the body's veins, and the qi accumulated in the body will flow crazily along the veins, but it will only last for a minute at most. This is also the most dangerous step to break through to transcendence. Close black lens bracket. Well, then this isn't dangerous to me. Watch my fairy beans for food. Advertisement. As he spoke, Qixing grabbed 5 beans from somewhere in his big hand and stuffed them into his mouth. The half-lost energy was instantly filled with the energy of the fairy beans. In this way, Qixing began a tug of war. While the qi in his body continued to flow away, it also continued to recover. This situation lasted for a full minute. Just when Qixing thought it was over simply, the qi in his body actually passed faster than before, disappearing like a floodgate. Even if it was Sendu's pervert recovery power can only last for 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, Qixing will be able to do it alone. When Qixing reacted, the 5 fairy beans had disappeared from his mouth. Qixing was so frightened that he immediately took out 10 fairy beans and put them into his mouth. System, what kind of trouble is this? Didn't you say that only 1 minute will pass at most? If this continues, I won't be drained. Ding. The system scanned the host's body in detail and found that there was a soul incomplete in the key to transcendence. It was she who expanded the host's major meridians and expanded the veins. Close black lens bracket.
Damn, you don't even have to remind me about things like the system that are harmful to me. Ding. The system will only remind the host of harmful things, and if the soul does this, it will be a huge opportunity for the host, so the system will not stop it. Close black lens bracket. Are you sure you're not kidding me? Look at me, I'm almost a mummy now, okay?
Ding. The meridians and vein gates in the body are fixed and will not be expanded for no reason. If ordinary people want to get such an opportunity, they must ask a god-level powerhouse to give up their own divine essence to expand the vein gates for the host. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket host, you are in luck. Close black lens bracket. Brother, if you do this, my energy will drain away faster. Ding. Yes, so you only need to consume host with her. When her divine power essence is exhausted, she will lose the threat to host. Close black lens bracket. Hearing this, Qixing was furious. Damn, Otsutsuki Jian Li, you old woman, you won't let me go even if you die. I want to see how much power you still have with a damaged soul. As he spoke, Qixing continued to stuff the fairy beans into his mouth. At first, he stuffed them one by one. After 10 minutes, he stuffed them into his mouth one by one. Half an hour later, Qixing had become a human being, the qi in the meridians had basically passed away, and the recovery power of Shondo could no longer keep up. Just when Qixing wanted to buy the treasures in the mall to stop for a while, this feeling of powerlessness finally stopped. The qi in Qixing's body also maintained a stable state for an instant, but if you look carefully, you can see that only 10% of the qi in Qixing's body is left. Finally, it finally stopped. At this time, Qixing almost cried and consumed most of the fairy beans. This time the crisis of using the key of transcendence is finally resolved. Luckily there are enough fairy beans. Otherwise, the car would have to overturn this time. But fortunately, the removal of the body shackles went smoothly this time. System, if it weren't for the remnant soul causing trouble, it wouldn't be difficult to break through to transcendence.
Ding. Host breakthrough is successful because your consumables are of high level, so you can maintain consumption. But ordinary cultivators do not have such unique conditions as host. Everyone who breaks through the realm of transcendence will look for a paradise in the cave, and then carry a large number of consumables and recovery potions with them. To ensure that the breakthrough is foolproof, only host you like to be unique. Close black lens bracket.
Right, you could also say I was lucky this time. Ding, congratulations to host, the body shackles are successfully lifted and the pulse gate is officially opened. Next, as long as enough energy is poured in, host can successfully break through the realm. Phew, Qixing finally breathed a sigh of relief after hearing the system prompt. At this moment, Qixing didn't want to waste any more effort, the system will immediately refine the 2 divine corpses. Chapter 239 Breakthrough 2, Kagayaji is in danger. At this moment, the powerful system machine started to operate. Ding, refining 2 divine corpses requires 10,000 points. Does host insist? Close black lens bracket. Yes. Ding, the refining of the divine corpse begins. Close black lens bracket. As soon as the system finished speaking, the 2 coffins on the 2nd floor of the Tianji building began to fall apart. This is a coffin made of sacred wood, and it can be decomposed so easily. And this was just the beginning. Even the 2 divine bodies, which should have been invulnerable to all attacks, were turned into ashes under the influence of the system. At this moment, there were only 2 strange light beads left under their divine bodies. The beads are crystal clear and sparkle with a milky white luster. There are layers of ripples on the luster, and the power of law is constantly spreading around. Qixing wanted to take it with his hands, but he couldn't pick up these 2 strange light beads no matter what.
What's going on with the system? Ding. Host is not strong enough to pick up the complete divine power crystal. Close black lens bracket. Then just absorb it. Ding. Host, please touch the divine power crystal with both hands and cross your legs to circulate the energy in your body. Close black lens bracket. After hearing the system instructions, Qixing immediately followed them. The next moment, an unknown gentle energy quietly poured into Qixing's body. And Qixing's momentum was slowly increasing at this moment.
This state lasted for half an hour, and the first complete divine power was absorbed and shattered. The second one was immediately connected. At this time, the momentum around Qixing has climbed to the limit of the immortal level, and he is just short of finishing. But often this last step always feels like something is missing. The huge amount of gentle energy is still pouring in. Qixing only feels that the energy in his body has been filled. If he continues like this and does not break through, he may be burst. But if he stops pouring in energy now, it will be a waste of all his previous efforts. Is it because my body is not strong enough? System, what's going on? I feel like I'm about to burst. I haven't broken through yet. Ding, host has a special physique and is awakening his special physique. Close black lens bracket. Ding, the special physique was absorbed by the Super Saiyan body, and the awakening failed. Close black lens bracket. When the words, awakening failed, were spoken, Qixing's body made a thunderous sound. At this moment, Qixing's body began to swell into a ball due to the infusion of energy, and all the 7 orifices began to bleed. However, less than a quarter of an hour later, Qixing returned again. Like a balloon being deflated, it begins to dry up. This is exactly the consequence of having sufficient energy and then overflowing again.
At this time, Qixing's body has reached saturation with the energy it can bear. At this moment, the realm breaks through too fast, resulting in the disadvantage that the physique cannot keep up with the realm, and finally appears. At the same time, 3 of Qixing's 7 orifices were blocked by dirty energy. Qixing endured the swelling pain, gritted his silver teeth, and persisted. Brother system, hurry to the rescue. I can't hold it in anymore. Ding. Host can spend points to purchase Aoki Emperor Pill to enhance his physical condition. Close black lens bracket.
Buy directly. Ding, congratulations to host for getting 2 Aoki Emperor Pills, which cost 30,000 points. Close black lens bracket. Please ask the host if he should take the Aoki Emperor Pill immediately. Close black lens bracket. Take it immediately. Advertisement. The next moment, 2 pills flew directly towards Qixing's mouth, as if his eyes were swollen, and Qixing sucked it in with a big mouth. The elixir melts in your mouth. A feeling of coolness instantly flowed through Qixing's body. At this moment, Qixing only felt that his body was comfortable and extremely transparent. Sure enough, the next second, a terrifying turbid air gushes out of Qixing's anus. There was an explosion, and the entire Tianji building was shaking in Kagayaji's hands. Kagayaheim, who was flying in the air and had arrived at the gate of the God's Tomb Cemetery, thought that there was some terrifying presence in the cemetery, which caused the small tower to appear and immediately let the tiger-faced eagle land. At this time, countless pairs of eyes were staring at the beauty Kagayaheim. At the same time, he looked at the small tower tightly held in his hand, his eyes shining. Everyone knew at just one glance that the small tower was anything but ordinary. Many people began to look at Kagayaji. But when one of the leaders of the 4 kingdoms, Hades, looked at Kagayaji, he was shocked and said, You are the leader of the country, Otsutsuki Kai Li. As soon as these words came out, thousands of people present retreated 300 meters.
What, it's definitely the god of death. Isn't it rumored that he will never leave his kingdom? How come he suddenly came to the god's tomb? Kagayaji also heard what they said, but he didn't know Jia Li very well. Although his memories were integrated a lot, he knew very little about Jia Li's privacy. At this time, 2 men wearing black hats walked up to Kagayaji, knelt down on one knee, and saw Master Lishan, congratulating him on his recovery again. When the 4 kings heard that someone had confirmed that this guy was Jia Li, they were immediately excited. This is probably the best chance to kill the king of Jia.
Are you guys still waiting for the opportunity? The next time he falls into a deep sleep, he will be a real god when he comes out. Okay, let's kill him first, but I want to own at least 30% of his kingdom's stuff. Shinigami heard the Hades lion speak loudly and didn't say much, but just nodded in agreement for the time being. The 4 finally reached an agreement. All eyes were fixed on Kagayaji, and the 2 cloaked Black Panthers in front of Kagayaji immediately retreated when they saw the Lord of the 4 Kingdoms staring at him with eagerness. At this moment, the footsteps of the Lord of the 4 Kingdoms were slowly moving towards Kagayaji. After all, a skinny camel was bigger than a horse. He had to be careful when dealing with the god of death, Jia Li. Several people moved lightly. The moment Kagayaheim is less than 100 meters away, she will launch an attack. Kagayaji also looked a little nervous at this time. When Lord Jiji saw that someone was going to hurt Lishan, he puffed up his cheeks and prepared to use this transformation. The worst he could do was to stay in seclusion in his territory for another 1,000 years. But at this time, the Tianji tower in Kagayaji's hand shook again, and a stream of dirty smoke with strange gas emerged from the second floor of the Tianji tower. Seeing this, the leaders of the 4 kingdoms retreated one after another. And God of the underworld shouted, Be careful, you 3, that must be Li Shen's hidden weapon. He knows that he is definitely no match for us when he wakes up just now, so he has already thought of a countermeasure to deal with us. Retreat first. Saying this, the four of them pushed out thousands of meters away to observe the small tower in Kagayaji's hands.
Seeing this scene, Kagaya and Gigi almost laughed out loud. The leader of the four kingdoms quickly reacted, maybe it's just ordinary smoke and has no toxicity. Caution comes first. As he spoke, the four of them used shields one after another, just to isolate the somewhat dense smoke. The four of them approached Li Shen again, but at the moment when the four of them took action, the cemetery gate on the right opened at this moment.
There were nearly 10,000 people around. Seeing this, they all wanted to care about the lord of the kingdom, and rushed towards the interior of the cemetery. Seeing a rare opportunity, Kagayaji directly used the close proximity. The figure instantly appeared in front of the cemetery gate, and he was the first to walk in amid everyone's surprised eyes. Upon seeing this, the lords of the four kingdoms looked at each other and quickly chased after Kagaya. Chapter 240 Breakthrough 3, The Secret of Deification. At this moment, Shinigami is the most anxious. If this time, such a good opportunity cannot leave Jia Li, I am afraid that it will be even less likely to find him a chance to be alone in the future. Three of you, it's time to use your strength. We can't let her escape this time. The gods of Hades, Sun, and Evil frowned when they heard Shinigami's words. They couldn't help but think, damn it, you don't use your full strength every time. Always be on guard against us. If anything happens, we have to go first. Get the FK in the back and paddle. Seeing that the three of them did not answer, but kept the same speed as themselves, Shinigami also saw what the three of them were thinking. Then he said, I understand the concerns of the three of you. This time I make a concession. I will only get 10% of the benefits of the kingdom of evil. Each of the three of you can get 30%. This is fair. What do you think of this condition? Do you accept it or not? It's up to you. After hearing this, the three of them looked at each other, thinking, does this guy have some conspiracy? But in the face of huge interests, although the three of them have become strong men who have transcended the 7th level, they still want something better. Resource. To enhance strength.
We can only agree to Shinigami's conditions first. Who will let this guy take one step ahead of the three of us and raise his strength to the 8th level of transcendence? The three of them said in unison, okay, that's it. You don't have to put any effort into killing Zi Li, but you, the country of Yuzan, must use all your strength to attack Jay's country.
Okay, three of you, happy working together. The three people had a quick discussion on the matter, and then Hades took out a scroll and dropped blood on the bottom of the scroll. The other two, Evil God and Yang God, followed suit. Finally, he handed the scroll to Shinigami. Shinigami saw the scroll and frowned. The three of you don't trust me, Yuzan. Shinigami was joking, not because he didn't trust him, but because he was reasonable and well-founded. The agreement was verbal and not binding. A cold snort came out, a drop of blood fell to the end of the scroll, and 4 drops of blood formed a circle, entangled with each other, and restrict each other. In the end, Shinigami chose to compromise temporarily. After all, these three guys are together. Even though I am at the 8th level of transcendence, I can't take down 3 of them at the same time. At the same time, there is another reason, that is, Jili is the wife of Otsutsuki Kamishiki, and Shinigami's former world was controlled by Kamishiki. He has seen with his own eyes how powerful Kamishiki is, and its movement can destroy the world. Ability that remains fresh in the minds of teachers and students and creates fear in their hearts. Therefore, by killing Jia Li this time, he would give up some benefits. When the incident comes to light, Jia Li's death will have nothing to do with him. Even if the gods come in person, they can't involve themselves. The other 3 people don't know about Shaojuju in Shinigami's heart. Although I vaguely felt that something was wrong, the contract had been signed and it was too late to regret it even if I wanted to.
At this moment, the speed of the 3 of them increased sharply, as if they had taken aphrodisiacs. In just a flash, his body disappeared beside Shinigami who was moving at high speed.
Shinigami pouted at this moment, you 3 idiots, do you think my benefits are so easy to get? After saying this, Shinigami also started to speed up. After all, he still wanted to watch a good show. At the same time, after Kagayaji entered the god's tomb cemetery, she only felt that her whole body was invaded by endless inexplicable spiritual energy. The next second, Kagayaji's whole body burst out with energy, and a transparent energy enveloped herself. It was also at this time that Kagayaji had time to observe the world in front of her. It didn't look like a cemetery at all, but more like a world. Advertisement. The kind of world within a world. The world in front of us is extremely wide, with trees surrounding the water, bluestone roads, and high mountains reaching into the sky. However, what is strange is that even though the place is surrounded by thick fog, you can see clearly with your eyes. It makes people feel like they are in a fairyland. Of course, you wouldn't have this idea if you saw the frantically dug tombs scattered everywhere on the ground. At this time, Kagayaji felt sad when she saw such a completely different scene. No matter how powerful the existence is, you can't make the decision after your death. And just when Kagayaheim was sighing, Gigi on her shoulder shouted, Master Lishan, those guys are chasing me. Hearing Gigi's words, Kagayaji held the tower, her speed increased sharply, she spat out a mouthful of blood again, and forcibly used Gigi Tianya, and her figure appeared tens of thousands of meters away. But it was obvious that the 4 guys behind him had no intention of letting Kagaya go, and they still pursued her fiercely. Time passed slowly in this chase. For half an hour, Kagaya managed to escape for half an hour by relying on the two fairy beans in her hand. But the front has reached the back hill of the God's Tomb Cemetery. The clearly visible thick black fog is in sharp contrast to the white fog in the cemetery. One glance showed that the black fog in the mountains behind the cemetery was full of dangers. Kagaya didn't dare to enter it rashly. Just when Kagaya wanted to escape in a different direction, the four people behind her were already surrounding her and chasing after her. At this time, Gigi shouted, "Master Lishan, why don't you give up this little tower? If you fight with this thing, you probably won't even be able to protect yourself." But Kagaya didn't listen to Gigi's advice, but said, "Gigi, please leave first. I can escape as I please." "Master Lishan, are you kidding me? Is Gigi that kind of ungrateful elf? I want to die with Lord Lishan. As soon as the fight breaks out, I will use the secret summoning method. You try to delay it for half a minute." Hearing Gigi's words, Kagaya was really moved by him, as Otsutsuki Chi Li, the soul symbiosis of Otsutsuki Kagaya. At this time, Kagaya knew that this battle was probably inevitable. It seems that his last trump card and Gigi's last trump card can only be used here. At this moment, Shinigami finally spoke again. "Lishan, I respect you as the lord of the country. As long as you are willing to hand over the secret of how to advance to the god level, can the four of us consider letting you go?" Kagaya heard this and said, "I don't know what the secret of deification you are talking about is. If you really want it, come and get it yourself." "Ha ha ha ha, Shaoli, you have just recovered and your strength has only recovered to the third level. How can you fight with the four of us? Even if your immortal body is close to the divine body, I can still break through your defense." "Yeah, then you try." As she spoke, she saw Kagaya. She didn't know what secret technique she had used. 9 veins in her body exploded, and blood gushed out like spring water. Then a strange rune formed in front of her. The rune made a blood shadow, and she was submerged into Kagaya again. Ji's body. The next moment, Kagaya Jinrin returned to the 9th level of Transcendence Realm strength in an instant. The 4 major kingdom leaders saw Kagaya Li Shen regaining her strength. They were shocked in their hearts and at the same time frightened back a few steps. But at this time, Shinigami saw that Kagaya was using the secret method forcibly, and it could not last long, and her strength had not returned to its peak. Seeing this, Shinigami knew he had to take action. "3 of you, let's attack together, I'll take the lead." Chapter 241 Breakthrough 4, King of Forests. After tens of thousands of words, Shinigami really did as he said, splitting into 3 clones and hiding in the void, while the main body rushed straight towards Kagaya. The 3 of them were a little surprised when they heard Shinigami say this. But of course they are happy with Shinigami taking the lead. Then the 3 of them followed closely and took action at the same time. They all used the power of their own laws. Shinigami made a move with both hands, and endless dead souls appeared from all directions, surrounding Kagaya. This is the power of Shinigami's law, the law of the soul.
The god of Hades kept making seals with his hands, and then pushed a palm in the direction of Kagaya. A black light exploded in the palm and flew towards Kagaya quickly.
This is the death law of Hades. If the body is touched by the power of this law, it will instantly turn into a pile of bones. Looking at the evil god again, blood-colored light was flowing around him, a 100-foot-long blood-colored figure grew rapidly behind him, and countless huge blood-colored fist shadows fell from the sky. This is the power of the evil god's law, the undead god's fist. The last person was Yang Shen, and she didn't know what this guy had done. Kagaya felt that there was a fire burning in her heart that could not be extinguished no matter what. This is actually the power of Yang Shen's law, the law of heart fire, which can stimulate the opponent's heart fire and disrupt his fighting style. The 4 people's attacks came to Kagaya one after another, and Kagaya's energy beyond the 9th level suddenly exploded. The natural laws of heaven and earth were completely integrated into the body. In an instant, the 4 kings felt that their bodies were incompatible with the surrounding environment, and all the law attacks they used deviated from Kagaya's side. This is Kagaya's own law, natural integration. Integrate with nature and manipulate the power of nature to fight against the power of laws. It really works wonders. But although the evil god's attack is an attack based on physical laws, it is formed by the blood energy of the body. Kagaya could only take the blow forcefully, and her figure was instantly blown thousands of meters away by the terrifying bloody energy. If the evil god continued to attack, Kagaya would probably fall into the black mist behind her. Just when the evil god was about to attack again, Gigi finally completed some of his rituals.
Then he jumped off Kagaya's shoulders and slammed his hands to the ground. The great summoning technique, summoning from a corner of the territory. As Gigi finished speaking, a huge black shadow fell from the sky. With a bang, it hit the ground tens of thousands of meters in front of Gigi, forcibly burying the 4 defenseless kings underground. Gigi didn't expect this unexpected blow to have any effect. Sure enough, the 4 kings emerged from the ground in disgrace. Obviously, this sudden blow was not so easily received. And Gigi saw a corner of his territory appear. "Make the seal with your hands again." A loud shout. "King of Forests, transform." The words echoed in his own territory. At this moment,
Countless elves similar to Gigi began to appear in the territory that Gigi had summoned, and all the elves began to rush into Gigi's body crazily. The next moment, Gigi's small green-skinned body began to swell, and then became transparent, and barb-like coral horns began to grow on the back of her back. On each horn, there was the outline of a wild beast. After the transparent body grew to 200 feet, it began to grow a huge head. The head looks like a deer, and is covered with shining scales, and its two antlers soaring into the sky block out the sun. At the same time, lightning flashed. The terrifying momentum has reached the limit of transcending the 9th level. Advertisement. The four kings were all horrified when they saw the sky-covering giant. This is the Lord of the Forest of Gods. Why is he here? Didn't he say that he can't leave the Forest of Gods? And I heard that that guy can't transform outside his territory. What's going on? Damn, are the legends all lies? No, it shouldn't be. You forgot, we were buried by something just now. You mean, it's that high mountain? Yes, to be precise, it is a corner of the Forest of Gods. It was summoned by the little green monster just now. He summoned the forest, and he could naturally transform. Now what? We can only use the arrangement we made hundreds of years ago. We can't keep these two guys now, but since we have reached this point, let's keep them both.
At this moment, the four of them nodded at the same time. Okay, let's get started. The moment the words fell, a strange pattern appeared on the foreheads of the four people at the same time. The four patterns merged into one, forming a reduced version of the square array. The four people suddenly pushed the square formation into the sky, and suddenly the entire back hill of the cemetery was enveloped in a transparent light formation. At this moment, many good people touched the light curtain with their hands, and the energy in their bodies was instantly absorbed. Afterwards, no one dared to touch this light curtain again.
Looking at the four masters of the four kingdoms, they saw waves of terrifying energy suddenly gathering from all directions and pouring into their bodies. In the next moment, the momentum of the four people changed, and their strength temporarily increased 5 times. The god of Hades, the god of Yang, and the god of evil directly crossed the threshold of transcending the 8th level, and their strength reached the 9th level. And Shinigami is even more terrifying. He was already at the 8th level of strength, but now his level has directly reached the limit of the 9th level, which is the state of Kagaya, a false god. 3 of you, let's make a quick decision. We only have 1 minute. The 3 of them heard that they were no longer waiting. In an instant, their bodies became huge, and their bodies were wrapped in laws. The 4 of them rushed towards Kagaya and the Lord of the Forests at the same time. Upon seeing this, Kagaya also expanded to the size of 100 feet. A 100-foot jade rabbit phantom also appeared behind her. Kagaya threw the small tower to her phantom, so that she could free her hands to fight with her opponent. The phantom rabbit opened its mouth. He was about to swallow the small tower, but at this critical moment, Shinigami's 2 figures hidden in the void appeared from the void at an unknown moment. One of them waved his hand and scattered the thick fog, while the other grabbed the small tower with his big hand and was about to run back. 3 giants appeared at the same time to cover Shinigami. When the transformed Kagaya saw this, her eyes turned red, and from the mouth of the jade rabbit shadow behind her, 3 oversized tailed beast bombs were instantly emitted, directly hitting 3 Shinigami bodies. There were 3 bangs, and 3 Shinigami were hit at close range, with 3 balls of blood exploding from their chests. But how could Shinigami let Kagaya rabbit get the small tower easily? A black light appeared in the palm of his hand and shot towards the small tower in an instant. Just when Kagaya and the Jade Rabbit's phantom's big mouth were about to bite the small tower was hit by Shinigami's black light and flew directly into the black mist. Chapter 242 Breakthrough 5, Super Rule Field. At this moment, Kagaya roared in terror, accompanied by the shrill scream of the Jade Rabbit shadow behind her, which spread throughout the cemetery. At this time, all the cultivators in the cemetery thought that some giant beast had awakened. All on alert. However, after this roar, Kagaya immediately used the Yasushi God Air Strike.
I saw the extraordinary physical technique activated by Otsutsuki Kagaya. Concentrate the energy in your body into the palm of your hand and release it in the air to form countless powerful fist shadows.
It is inevitable that the fist shadow should be used for attack, but in this situation, in order to cover the 3 Shinigami, the 3 kings launched their most powerful attacks. Kagaya had to use half of the fist shadow for defense.
Although this attack, Kagaya uses the pupil technique and combines it with each other without any shortcomings, and can instantly form an offensive and defensive taijutsu. However, the attacks of the 3 kings were too cunning and fatal, and they attacked Kaguya's vital points. Kagaya could only give up killing 3 Shinigami clones, then he turned to face the 3 major kings. At the beginning, the attacks of the 3 kingdom masters hit countless fist shadows and were bounced away one after another.
But when the 3 people and the 3 laws merged into one, Kagaya's fist shadow was instantly shattered by the 3 people's fusion laws and was directly knocked hundreds of meters away. At this time, how could the 3 major kingdom lords miss this good opportunity to pursue victory? The huge bodies of the 3 people took 2 steps and arrived in front of Kagaya. The 3 punched at the same time and hit Kagaya. However, Kagaya seemed to be not in this world. Her body turned into a shadow, and the jade rabbit behind her then it turns into a physical entity, which is the exchange of reality and reality with the jade rabbit. Although the fists of the 3 major kingdom masters were equipped with laws, they still failed to hit the phantom Kagaya. The jade rabbit behind him opened his mouth, and 3 oversized tailed beast bombs came out instantly. At such a close distance, the 3 kings had no choice but to hide with their arms in front of their chests. Only 3 loud bangs were heard. The figures of the 3 kings flew thousands of meters away in an instant. It happened to hit the king of forests after Gigi's transformation. Gigi was not polite. He strangled the 3 kings with his transparent hands, and the barbs on the back of his hands grew rapidly, pricking the bodies of the 3 kings into hedgehogs. Just when Gigi imagined Kage showing off, suddenly the 3 clones of Shinigami merged into one in the void and became the real Shinigami. Shinigami pulled out a big knife in his hand and instantly became 100 times bigger. Without any precautions, Gigi's transparent body split in half. However, after Gigi was cut off, his body turned into 2 huge floods, submerging an area of 10,000 meters. The bodies of the 3 kings kept making hissing sounds in the water. It seems that the water is very corrosive. Upon seeing this, Shinigami immediately raised her body, but Kage had already grasped the opportunity. She stretched her right hand forward and used the ash bone killing technique. Several thick black bone sticks were shot towards Shinigami. The bone stick exuded endless annihilation aura. This is Kage-Hime's unique skill, which changes the composition of the bone structure and turns it into a powerful weapon. Technique shoots bones from the palm of the hand. The body of the person who was stabbed by the bone will gradually collapse like the death of the impure world reincarnation.
Shinigami sensed that special aura and did not dare to take it hard. After using a sword to block one, he would instantly transform into thousands of bodies. He wanted to use this technique to avoid the ashes of the killer.
But these black sticks seemed to be conscious, identifying Shinigami's true form and chasing after him. Shinigami had no choice but to separate into 3 bodies again. One flew towards the flood that Gigi transformed into, the other blocked the bone stick, and the third stood in the void, watching the battle below. Waiting for the opportunity. I saw Shinigami coming in front of Gigi, opening his big mouth, sucking in all the tens of thousands of tons of water on the ground into his stomach like a whale sucking water. Then the body began to swell, as if it was about to burst from the water. However, the Shinigami in the sky has quick eyes and quick hands, and uses the sealing technique to directly seal this incarnation of himself with a palm-sized talisman. Advertisement. Then Shinigami made a big move and the talisman was taken back. At this moment, the crisis of the 3 major kingdom masters was lifted. Seeing this, the 3 kings of the kingdom straightened up and came to Shinigami's side, looking at Gigi who emerged from the ground. There is lingering fear in my heart. The water just now was not only as heavy as a stone, but there was also a terrifying law of gravity in the water. The 3 of them were so pressed that they couldn't move at all. Looking at Gigi's eyes at this time, there was already a hint of solemnity. The Shinigami body that blocked Kage's bone stick just now also used his body to catch the 5 bone sticks. The moment they touched the bone rod, it turned into ashes in the eyes of several people. At this moment, the 4 major kingdom masters gathered again. And the time they had to transform was less than 20 seconds. Shinigami. What now? Shinigami did not directly answer Hades' words, but looked at Kage strangely. Why didn't this woman attack when she had such a good opportunity? Could it be that she was cheating?
However, at this time, Kage was caught in a fight for her body.
Because Kage forcibly used the secret method to temporarily increase her strength to the realm of demigods. The consciousness that caused Otsutsuki's separation awakened early and fought for control of the body. How could Kage be as experienced as Gle? In just 2 breaths, she was persuaded by Gle to give up resistance and hand over control of her body to her. Because Gle said that after dealing with the 4 reptiles in front of him, he would enter the gray mist and look for the small tower. But this was not because Gle wanted to help Qixing, but because the small tower was a more powerful star weapon than an artifact. How could Gle give up? Just when the 4 of them started attacking again, Otsutsuki raised his head and opened 2 Rinnegan with 12 Magatama. With just one glance, the 4 kings were frozen in the air, and the 4 of them were shocked at the same time. This is the real Otsutsuki. This is his realm beyond the rules, Kongan, and he's really back. Anyone below her strength cannot leave any traces in his field, so this field is also called Empty Mark. At this time, Otsutsuki looked at the 4 people who could not move and said, "You losers have grown to this point under my shadow. It's really good. This shows that I had a unique vision back then. But not only have you sealed the way of heaven in this world, you also want to kill me and completely control this middle-level world. Although it is a very good ideal, you seem to have miscalculated your own strength." When the 4 of them heard this, they were a little panicked. How could Master Lishan know about his plan? It's a pity that you are too impatient and want to control the world without the strength to transcend the 9th level. It is really foolish. Now tell me how you want to die, and I will make it happen. At this time, the 4 of them did not speak. They have given up the idea of fighting Gle head-on, because they know that if Gle's soul is really resurrected, then the 4 of them cannot be her opponents unless they are in the same realm as him.
At this time, there were only 10 seconds left for the formation to transform. If they did not use these 10 seconds to escape, the 4 of them would probably die miserably. The 4 people's eyes were rolling around, and they had already discussed the plan the moment they looked at each other. Chapter 243 The Final Breakthrough, the First Level of Transcendence.
At this moment, in Geely's domain, I don't know how many people were mumbling words or saying something. I only heard 4 Sanskrit sounds chanting in the domain. In Geely's surprised eyes, countless cracks appeared in the Kongan domain. In the end, after the 4 people paid 4 mouthfuls of old blood, the field was directly broken open, and the 4 people regained their freedom. At this moment, the 4 people had lingering fears and did not dare to stay longer. 4 pairs of palms pressed together at the same time. The power of the 4 souls condensed instantly. The shadow of an unknown little beast appeared above the 4 people. A loud roar was heard, and the figure shook the surrounding area. Everything within 10,000 meters was trembling. The space above the 4 people's heads began to crack, and then a 3-meter black hole formed. The 4 people were directly sucked into it and disappeared in front of Datong Muzili. At this moment, Jia Li was a little surprised. What secret techniques did these 4 guys use to break the void barrier in the secret realm of the Tomb of Gods?
Jia Li's eyes lit up and he wanted to find out what was going on in the black hole. He swung his big hand towards the black hole and prepared to follow closely behind and sink into it. But suddenly, I got severe pain in my head. You promised me to go find Qixing.
Idiot, I haven't solved those 4 guys yet. It's not too late to go after I finish them. No, however, due to Kagayaji's interference, Geely was unable to exert all his strength, and eventually the broken space healed automatically. Jia Li stood still and said to himself, Kagayaji, you stupid woman, that small tower is certainly precious, but if you don't get rid of these 4 guys, you think he will let you go after you get out. I don't care what happens after I get out. I just want to find the small tower now, and we'll talk about the rest later. HMPH. Stupid. That kid has many tricks, how could he die so easily? At this moment, Kagayaji didn't want to listen to her explanation, but kept interfering. Geely couldn't do anything. He could only turn around and pick up Gigi, and jumped into the black mist behind him. The moment several people disappeared, a black shadow quietly disappeared from behind a big tree. At the same time, the 4 kings were teleported thousands of miles away by the little beast above their heads, and now they were entering a dark subspace. The evil god sensed it for a moment and said, it's finally safe. The woman didn't chase her. The 4 people who felt relieved at this moment spit out a mouthful of blood essence and fed it into the mouth of the atomized beast above their head. The beast shook its head proudly and then disappeared. Yuzan, we were in trouble this time. We didn't expect that woman to really come back. We made a miscalculation. We thought we would have to wait until at least his strength officially returned to the 9th level before he would awaken his memory. I didn't expect it to be so soon. It doesn't matter. The clone I stayed there saw that the woman seemed to be affected by something, and actually walked into the black mist, seemingly looking for the small tower.
Well, you're not wrong. That woman will definitely lose her mind.
Entering the black mist from there is equivalent to entering the inner perimeter of the Death Tomb abyss. It is a narrow escape. The last time we entered the black mist from the back mountain, the 4 of us almost fell there. Hey, he definitely doesn't know where the black mist leads to. I hope the monster from last time can entertain him well, ha ha ha. Advertisement. Let's go. Even if he doesn't die, he will still shed his skin. This is a good thing. Let's go find the divine corpse to refine it first and break through the realm as soon as possible. When she comes out, it's time for our decisive battle. This time we will definitely destroy his dynasty and rule this pure world in one fell swoop. Upon hearing this, the 4 people's eyes glowed with golden light at the same time. On the other side of this moment, 7 Stars is still making the final breakthrough in the small tower. He has absorbed 2 complete divine power crystals, and Qixing has also understood 2 laws from the 2 divine power crystals. One is the law of the sword, and the other is the law of the poison. Close black lens bracket. And they both have a superficial understanding of the 2 laws. Ordinary people only need to understand a law to the 9th level to try to open up a small world and break through to the god level. Don't think it's just superficial, the law is the key to entering the realm of transcendence. When you break through the 6 paths level to the immortal level, you need to understand the prototype of the domain. When you reach the immortal level and break through to the transcendence realm, you must understand the surface of a domain in order to successfully break through. I want to truly transcend this world. Understanding the realm is the first step to transcending the world. When you understand the laws enough, you can open up the world within your own body and achieve the level of a god. At present, opening up a small world is the most difficult obstacle to becoming a god. Close black lens bracket. But these are not too difficult for Qixing, because he already has the prototype of the world. Coupled with an infant 10 tails, I think it won't be long before the prototype world is stabilized and 10 tails begins to be integrated, and it can absorb the power of other worlds and grow rapidly. This has also been Qixing's plan all along. At this time, Qixing opened his eyes and shouted, "Break it for me." In an instant, the turbid air in the body that was blocking Qixing was repulsed, and a terrifying aura surged out of Qixing's body. With a bang, the small tower was shaken and rolled several times in the void again, and the 7 stars in the tower were wrapped in endless blue flames, and the blue flames around them became even bluer. What happened? Could it be that my the Super Saiyan bloodline was also sublimated the moment I advanced to transcendence? As a crackling sound came from Qixing's body, it also confirmed that Qixing's guess was not wrong. His Super Saiyan bloodline, after assimilating his special physique, has really been sublimated, directly increasing by 5 percentage points. This time, the fusion degree of Qixing's Super Saiyan bloodline directly reached 47%. I'm afraid it won't be long before 7 stars can perform the 5th transformation of the Super Series. It's exciting just to think about it. The excited Qixing was on the 2nd floor of the Tianji Tower, giggling, but he still didn't know that he was following the Tianji Tower because of Shinigami's interference. And fell into the black mist in the mountain behind the cemetery, and the space in this black mist extended in all directions, and even reached the inner periphery of the Death Tomb abyss. At this time, the small tower was still rolling in the air and falling below the abyss. Qixing, on the other hand, began to consolidate his transcendence to the 1st level. On the other side, Datong Mujiali also began to fall below the abyss. Kagaya, control your body well.
The time for the secret method has come. Next time, you cannot use the secret method unless it is a last resort. Otherwise, my body will be damaged and I will not be able to return to my peak state.
When you encounter death, I will take action 3 times. After 3 times, you must give your body to me for safekeeping. After hearing this, Kagaya could only agree. Kagaya, who instantly took control of his body, fell rapidly in the direction directed by Gigi. Chapter 244 An Invisible 8 Desolation's Entrapment Formation. At the same time, inside the Tianji Tower, Qixing, who was stabilizing the 1st level of Transcendence and Transcendence, suddenly heard a system prompt. Ding! Congratulations to host, you successfully broke through the 1st level of Transcendence in the Tianji Tower, and will be rewarded with 100,000 points. Close black lens bracket. Ding! Congratulations to host, the basic realm has reached the 1st level of Transcendence and you can open the 4th floor of Tianji Tower. Close black lens bracket. Ding! Host has all the lottery times, and you can draw the lottery at any time, or you can convert the lottery times into mall points. Close black lens bracket. Number of primary draws, redeem points, 50 points can be redeemed at one time, 30 times. Number of elite draws, redeem points can be redeemed for 500 points at a time, 10 times. Number of luxury draws, redeem points, 5,000 points can be redeemed at one time, 3 times.
System, give me the number of times to exchange for junior and elite, and draw a deluxe triple draw.
Ding! Congratulations to host, you redeemed the junior lottery and elite lottery times and gained a total of 6,500 points. Close black lens bracket. Ding! The system has opened the luxury lottery wheel. Close black lens bracket. At this moment, the long-lost black and white turntable appeared in front of Qixing. Qixing looked at the items on the turntable with excitement. This time the items are not introduced too much, just the names are written. From left to right, they are Dimensional Blade, Death Puppet, Sky Burial Coffin, God Destroying Slash, and Moko Infinite Scroll.
Don't look at the items, just listen to the name Qixing and you will know that every one of them is awesome.
At this time, the turntable has also begun to rotate. Just listen to the system prompts for the next moment. Ding! Congratulations to host, you got the Dimension Blade, the Death Puppet, and the Moko Infinite Scroll. Close black lens bracket.
Here these 3 items. 7 stars immediately refers to the properties of the item. Dimensional Blade. You can cut through the dimensional wall by swinging the knife at will, and you can cut through the dimensional wall in the advanced world by swinging the knife with all your strength. Death Puppet. After use, a human form exactly the same as the original body will be left in place, with simple movement capabilities, while the real body will be teleported hundreds of miles away in an instant. Moko Infinite Scroll. Understand the laws of the world, see through the laws of the world, integrate without hindrance, just right, and not cling to the great wisdom of all laws. With this scroll, you can instantly comprehend a magical power or law that you have seen before. Qixing knows that he made the right bet this time because these 3 items sold for at least 100,000 points in the system mall. At this moment, Qixing was harvesting slowly. After putting away these items with a smile, he thought of the 4th floor of the Tianji building. I don't know what kind of surprise the 4th floor will give me. As he spoke, Qixing went directly to the door on the 4th floor and opened the stone door on the 4th floor. As soon as he walked in, Qixing felt a terrifying suppressive force, pressing down on his head like a mountain. But after being prompted by the system, Qixing did not struggle and just sat cross-legged, slowly began to adapt to this pressure. At the same time, the system also described the function of the 4th floor of the Tianji building. That is to use huge pressure to temper your physical body, and at the same time, the time in the room is also accelerated 10 to 100 times. When you adapt to 10 times the time acceleration and 10 times the gravity, 20 times the time and gravity will follow. Advertisement at this time, Qixing stayed in this room for 2 full hours before finally adapting to 10 times gravity and 10 times acceleration of time. Immediately, when the countdown came to 20 times, Qixing chose to exit the 4th floor of Tianji building. Now that the realm has been consolidated, there is no need to waste time. Maybe Kagaya-ji outside is still waiting for her to save her life. At this moment, the violent energy around Qixing dissipated with a wave of his hand. The strength of the 1st level of transcendence has been successfully stabilized. It is time to leave the tower, show off his skills, and meet the 4 kings for a while. And when the small tower finally fell to the bottom of the Death Tomb abyss, Qixing was full of loyalty, turned around, and appeared outside the Tianji tower in an instant. But the moment he came out of the tower, Qixing only felt the endless evil energy surrounding him, which was also eroding his body. The 7-star domain instantly expanded, isolating the erosion of these evil spirits. Only then did I have time to look at my surroundings. I saw the surrounding sky being eroded by endless red light, a super large blood-colored bright moon hanging in the sky, endless red light shining on the earth, everything on the earth, wet swamps, dim yellow dead branches, green moss, with endless steep cliffs. The surrounding trees have long withered under the red glow in the sky. Although Qixing expanded his domain, he still felt a chill down his spine, because at this time, the Tianji Tower was emitting a strange light, seeming to guide Qixing somewhere. Qixing knew that the small tower would not harm him, so he immediately grabbed the small tower and moved forward cautiously in the direction it pointed. While walking, the small tower was constantly emitting a faint light, as if it was protecting the 7 stars. If the 4 kings were here, they would definitely find that this small tower was able to ignore the rules in the Death Tomb Abyss and did not let the 7 stars be harmed.
The slightest erosion of rules. Qixing was also very strange along the way. There were obviously traces of countless monster activities around, but no monster dared to rush up and attack Qixing, and Qixing was too lazy to pay attention to these monsters.
This walk lasted another 2 hours. The red earth in front of me gradually faded away, leaving only endless black. And in this terrifying darkness, a towering mountain could be vaguely seen ahead. And Shouta seemed even more excited. When they were approaching 100 miles high in the mountains, Qixing only felt an invisible barrier in front of him, blocking his way forward. Qixing didn't understand either and could only ask the system. System, what is this? Ding. In the space of 100 miles in front of the host, everything is blocked by the 8 desolate trapped heaven formation. The 8 desolations trapping the sky formation, is there really such a formation? Trapping the sky, is it possible to trap even the sky? Who believes it? When the small tower hit this invisible barrier, a wave of ripples surged before it flew in like an opportunity. Xiao Qixing, how did you get in? Master, come in quickly. The 7-star hand attached itself to the invisible barrier and struck hard, but to no avail. The speechless Qixing could only call to the Tianji Tower, Xiaoqi, come out of the barrier first. When I enter the tower, I will come out to accompany you. Okay. The Tianji Tower was seen swaying and emerging from the invisible barrier. 7 stars instantly entered the Tianji Tower. The weapon spirit controlled the Tianji Tower, swaying again and getting into the barrier. The moment Qixing walked out of the Tianji Tower, I just felt that there was another world around me. There was no spiritual energy fluctuation here, and there was no chakra energy at all. There were no trees or vegetation around. There are just many bare mountains standing on the withered yellow land. The Tianji Tower was still moving forward. Qixing had no time to carefully observe the surrounding situation and could only keep up with the Tianji Tower. At this time, the Tianji Tower was getting more and more excited and shaking more and more violently, as if there was something he liked in front of him. Chapter 245 The Will of Heaven in the Pure Land. At this time, the speed of the Tianji Tower was getting faster and faster. After half an hour of detouring and passing through 4 high mountains, the small tower finally stopped halfway up a 1,000-foot high mountain. Qixing is confused. Xiaoqi, there's nothing in front of this? Master, there is a secret room inside this mountain. There seems to be a very powerful being sealed in the secret room. His aura is very similar to the aura of the ninja world that you captured. You mean there is a way of heaven in this? I don't know, maybe. I just feel that the things here will be of great help to you, and the predictions on the celestial disc seem to have a great opportunity here. At this moment Qixing's eyes were shining. Is it a chance? The god's tomb is full of opportunities. Why does Shouta have to bring me here? If there is really a way of heaven hidden here, then who hid it here? If I go in rashly, will I encounter danger? As a newborn weapon spirit, Xiaoqi's intelligence should not be very high. Even if it is something he likes, Dao may not go there, but it is said to be helpful to me. This is very strange. It seems like something is attracting the Tianji Tower to come here. That's fine. Now that you've come, let's settle down. Just let me see your true face. After saying this, Qixing immediately used Earth Style, trying to enter the interior from the underground, but Qixing obviously thought too much. This entire mountain is the core of the 8 desolate confined heavenly formation. How could Qixing, who could not even enter the outside, enter to the core? It seems we need help from Xiaoqi. Xiaoqi, can you enter the interior of the mountain? Master, of course you can. I am the weapon spirit of the star weapon. How can a mere 9th level formation trap me? Xiaoqi 666, let's go and take the master in for a look. Great. As he spoke, a burst of white light directly sucked the 7 stars from the bottom of the tower, and the Tianji Tower instantly began to rotate, and then waves of ripples were rushed away by the Tianji Tower. In just a moment, the formation that requires the combined efforts of the 4 kingdom masters can be opened easily in the Tianji Tower. When the tower completely enters the interior of the mountain, Qixing's figure also came out. At this time, only Qixing could be seen. Inside the huge cave, there are 5 attributes of energy, transformed into small dragons, constantly swimming around the glass ball in the center. On the edge of the cave, there are 5 strange stone pillars standing. The stone pillars are constantly emitting a shimmer, and the shimmer is reflected on the wall. On the mountain wall, there are countless chains formed by tadpoles, which are derived from the ground and quickly climb to the center of the entire cave. In the center of the cave, only a round transparent ball can be seen. The ball is covered with countless tadpoles in Sanskrit, and those Sanskrit characters are lifelike, and together with the energy dragons, they keep wandering around the transparent sphere. Looking inside the sphere, there is a cloud that looks like a human face, is sleeping. Qixing's curiosity aroused and he reached out to touch the ball. Suddenly, a strange energy like an electric shock flowed through Qixing's body, frightening Qixing into a cold sweat and he quickly retreated. But nothing happened after a moment. System, what happened just now? Ding! It's the trapped sky formation that thinks you want to save the way of heaven in the sphere, so it wants to seal it with you. But because the faint light of the Tianji Tower envelopes you, the effect of the sky entrapment formation is not activated. Close black lens bracket. Listening to the system's explanation, Qixing felt incredible that there was actually heaven in this sphere. Who can seal the way of heaven in a big glass ball? But now is not the time to think about this. Now that we are here, of course we must maximize our benefits. Advertisement at this moment, a spiritual light from the 7 stars hit the transparent glass ball, trying to test the hardness of the ball. Sure enough, ordinary weapons could not break this thing. Then Qixing took out the dimensional blade and swung it down suddenly. Poof, tiny cracks really appeared on the top of the ball. Qixing swung his sword again, and the cracks became more obvious. Just when Tiandao in the ball thought that Qixing would swing out 3 more swords, Qixing chuckled and put away the dimensional blade. Seeing Qixing's action, Tiandao really lost his temper. You kid, give me another chop. Come on, help me chop again. Hearing that Tiandao in the ball couldn't help but speak first, Qixing smiled disdainfully. Before the conditions are agreed upon, do you think I will be so stupid as to let you out? You, brat, what do you want to do? It's nothing, I just want to ask a few questions first. Is this God's tomb the God's tomb or the heaven's tomb? Could it be that this secret realm of the God's tomb is just a cemetery? Boy, you know nothing. It's called a cemetery, but it's actually the place where those guys who want to replace me sealed me. I am the pure land of heaven. It's a pity that some guys have been suppressing it here for thousands of years. And every 100 years, someone will come here to strengthen the seal. I may be the most stubborn will of heaven in the world. Those bastards have been trying to replace me. One day I'm going to kill them all. Oh, doesn't heaven have a clone? HMPH, you are stupid and arrogant like me. How could you possibly need that kind of useless snack? Oh, then why are you trapped here and no one has come to save you? I will need someone to save me. Even if you don't come, I will break out of the seal soon, and then some guys will die. Oh, in that case, I'm leaving. When Tiandao saw Qixing turning around and preparing to leave, he quickly shouted to stop. No, little friend, I see your bones are amazing. Why don't we make a deal? You only need to destroy one of the 5 sky-reaching pillars, and I will figure out the rest myself. Oh, the Tongtian pillar is the core of the formation. If I destroy one at will, I might as well take you out directly and let you regain control of the pure land of heaven. My little friend, if you can really take me out and regain control of this heavenly way, I will definitely make you a strong man inferior to one person and superior to hundreds of millions of people. Oh, I can become stronger without your support. All you need is that you sign this contract and I will take you out. When he saw the content of the contract, Pure Land Tiandao was furious. What, isn't this selling me to you? You be *******D. You're dreaming, but the next moment, when Qixing took out the heavenly way of the ninja world, the Pure Land heavenly way was no longer calm. The human face turned into a cloud was staring at the heavenly way of the ninja world in front of him. As long as I absorb this thing, I can not only merge the 2 worlds, but also instantly upgrade the Pure Land world to a high-level world. At that time, even if someone above the transcendent comes, I will have no worries. But how can I, who is a great heaven, be inferior to human beings? At this moment, Tiandao was in a tangle. Chapter 246 Rescue the Pure Land of Heaven. If I sign the contract, I will be restricted by that kid. But if I don't sign, the kid won't be able to help me get out of trouble, and I will continue to stay here for hundreds of years, and everything will be in vain. No matter how much power we gather in the future, it is impossible to successfully break through this trapped sky formation 100% of the time. But if I have the opportunity to go out and promote the Pure Land to a high-level world, then all the merits will belong to me. When I fell down, I not only had the opportunity to transform into a human being, but I also had the opportunity to truly experience the happiness of the human world. More importantly, there is no contract that can control the way of heaven in the high-level world in my Pure Land world. I'm afraid this kid is just a dumb kid who doesn't understand anything. Then what am I worried about? I am temporarily restricted by this kid. Once I advance to a high level, this kid will be the first to be killed. How dare I enslave the great will of heaven? At this moment, Pure Land Heavenly will figured everything out and stared at the 7 stars intently. Boy, please send the contract in. Remember that we are just a cooperative relationship. Don't try to order me to do anything. Do not worry. As he spoke, Qixing affixed the contract to the glass ball. The will of heaven came from the cloud-like body and through the cracks on the glass ball to forcefully carve a mark on the bottom of the contract. After all this is done, it seems that the pure land of heaven in the glass ball in front of you is even weaker. But looking at the contract in front of him, and looking at the body of ninja heaven in the hands of the boy, the will of pure land heaven is full of happiness at this moment. Boy, the contract has been signed. What are you waiting for? Let me out quickly. Qixing didn't answer, just waiting for the system prompts. But after waiting and waiting, several minutes passed, and the system did not prompt that the contract was successful. Qixing knew that the heaven in front of him was trying to kill him. Turn around and leave. When Pure Land Tiandao saw that the boy in front of him not only did not speak, he turned around and left, shouting loudly. You be asterisk 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 D-boy has no martial ethics, and your words don't count. I don't mean what I say, you used a clone to sign a contract with me. If you still want me to save you, damn it, you will die. Little friend, misunderstanding, little friend, this is all a misunderstanding. I just made a joke with my little friend. No more chance. With that said, Tiandao in the glass ball once again tore off a small section of his cloud-like body, and then looked at the contract attached to the glass ball with pain. Gritting his teeth and sending a fierce blow, a white cloud squeezed out of the crack, then fell onto the contract and was instantly absorbed by the contract. At this time, the system finally sent a prompt, ding, congratulations to host, you successfully signed an unequal contract with the Pure Land of Heaven's will. Close black lens bracket. Boy, I also signed the contract, now it's time to rescue me. Very good. Since you will be my god from now on, of course I won't let you suffer such injustice. As he spoke, Qixing drew out the dimensional blade again, bang bang, 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 5 knives struck out. The towering pillar on the left side of the center. After the Tongtian pillar trembled for a few times, it only cracked a few holes, and then the other 5 pillars also had cracks. But after just a few seconds, the 5 pillars recovered at the same time. Advertisement Qixing did not believe in evil and continuously slashed hundreds of knives at the 5 pillars, but every time one of the pillars was broken, the remaining 4 pillars would emit colorful lights, and the broken pillars would grow again in an instant. What the hell is going on with the system? Can the 8 desolate trapped sky formations still share the damage? Ding. Host is right. The eyes of the 8 desolations confining heaven formation are 5 sky-reaching pillars, but the core is the sky shielding shield in front of them. This shield has the ability to cover the void and conceal the secrets of heaven. And once this sky shielding cover is refined, it can withstand the full attack of a god-level powerhouse without being damaged. Of course it is not absolute, it mainly depends on the strength of the holder. And energy adequacy. Close black lens bracket. Is it so strong? Then why did I just use the dimensional blade to beat him to pieces? Ding. Because while the sky shielding cover has not been refined, its energy has also been exhausted. Close black lens bracket. I see, it seems I've seen the baby again. Then how can we break the 8 desolate trapped sky formations in the system? Ding. Host can purchase the 9th level formation breaking talisman, find the weakness in the core of the formation, and easily break it. Close black lens bracket. It's so simple. It seems that I overcomplicated this formation. I purchased the 9th level formation breaking talisman through the system. Ding. Congratulations to host, you spent 18,000 points to successfully purchase the 9th level formation breaking talisman. Do you want to use it immediately? Close black lens bracket. Yes. After Qixing finished speaking, he saw a golden talisman in his hand flying directly to the stone platform separated by the glass ball. There was a bang, and the moment the talisman came into contact with a groove under the stone platform, it exploded. The explosion didn't have much power, but it directly cracked the groove. Seeing this, Qixing knew that this was what the system said was the core weakness of the formation eye. At this moment, the dimensional blade in Qixing's hand stabbed directly, peeved. The crack is getting bigger and bigger. When Qixing pulled away the knife, the central stone pillar actually separated from the middle and broke into 2 sections. With this break, the following 5 hard sky-reaching pillars also broke. Finally, the countless tadpole-shaped runes on the glass ball in front of him began to slowly recede, and finally disappeared into the cave. Qixing also vaguely felt that the barrier outside the cave had disappeared. Suddenly, a big white cloud-like face approached in front of Qixing. Qixing stepped back and waved his hand, and a strong wind blew away the clouds in front of him. FK. Boy, you're crazy, it's me. At this time, the system also issues a prompt. Ding. Congratulations to the host for successfully rescuing the Pure Land of Heaven, reaching an agreement with it, and successfully controlling the second complete Will of Heaven. 50,000 bonus points. Close black lens bracket. Looking at this reward, Qixing felt pretty good. Boy, are you talking to me? What are you doing? Give me the complete Cloud of Heaven just now. What did you say? We agreed on the deal, but you want to renege on it. Don't worry, but now that the barrier outside has been broken, it's no longer safe here. If you don't leave, you will be buried here. After saying this, Qixing made a big move with his hand, and the cracked glass ball, sky cover, in front of him flew directly into the palm of his hand. He didn't have time to look carefully. After he put it into the Tianji Tower, he flashed and disappeared directly, inside this crumbling cave. At this moment, Pure Land Heaven looked at the cave that trapped him near 10,000 years. His body turned into black smoke and slowly rose into the sky. Although he was born with the will of heaven, 10,000 years did not control this world. I always feel a sense of stagnation. It seems to be repelling it. It must be the generations of successors of those bastards. When I take control of the Pure Land again, I will definitely destroy you. Chapter 247 The Terrifying Behemoth. At this moment, Pure Land Heavenly Dao felt that his body was incompatible with this world, and the black smoke of his incarnation was being swallowed up by the surrounding laws. Tiandao shouted loudly, and the human faces turned into black smoke, got bigger and bigger, and suddenly rose to a height of 10,000 meters. Only the Pure Land Tiandao shouted angrily. Zishao Tinlei, come. The next moment, countless purple thunder dragons formed and fell downwards. These thunder dragons were only the size of toothpicks at first, but as Pure Land Heaven gradually became familiar with the rules of this world, the thunder dragons turned into thick thighs. Suddenly fell to the mountains below. The next moment, countless explosions were heard from the Yamanaka, and thousands of high mountains were flattened by the wrath of heaven in a light cough. At this moment, there are no bare mountains anywhere in this world, only endless plains as far as the eye can see. From now on, the 10,000 mountain forest in the Death Tomb Abyss will be renamed the 10,000 Abyss Plain. However, the strange thing is that no matter how many thunder dragons fell from the sky, this violent purple thunder dragon did not hurt Qixing at all. This guy Tiandao was also surprised when he saw this scene. How did this kid do it? At this time, Tiandao didn't know what kind of contract he had signed. 7 stars spent 30,000 points to purchase the contract. No matter who signed the contract, it would be impossible to harm the owner of the contract from now on. No matter how violent the energy he sends out, he will never be able to harm Qixing in the slightest. At this moment, Qixing also knew that the blow just now was a test of the Pure Land Heavenly Way. If he could kill Qixing here, he could then get the true body of the Ninja World Heavenly Way. He can grow quickly without paying any price. Qixing curled his lips disdainfully. I can see through your mind at a glance. Don't be so clever. If you don't have some tricks, do you think I will let you out? Just when the two guys were thinking about their own thoughts, several intermittent explosions were heard dozens of kilometers away. Qixing was curious. This is a place where birds don't lay eggs, but there are still people who come here. Immediately, he started super distance exploration. In an instant, everything within 100 miles appeared in his mind like a 3D projection. Dozens of kilometers away, a beautiful figure was seen, holding a green ball covered in wounds, running rapidly ahead, spitting out a mouthful of blood from time to time, and then appeared thousands of meters away in an instant. This person is not Kagaya Haim and Lord Jiji, who else could it be? Qixing felt a pain in his heart when he saw such miserable Kagaya Ji. Who the hell hurt my ancestor like this? However, when Nanahoshi saw the monster behind Kagaya Haim clearly, he took a breath of cold air. Hiss. The monster behind him was only 30 feet tall, with a strange red glow all over his body, and strange red energy overflowing from his eyes. And on the hard shell that is covered all over its body, there are gleaming barbs. Looking at the 2 thick giant feet, they dug deep into the ground while running rapidly, and you can clearly feel the size of this monster. And the face of this monster is even more peculiar. 2-meter-long jaws are derived from the face, and countless sharp fangs leak out of the huge mouth. Transparent mucus drips from the fangs from time to time. The slime dripped on the ground, making a hissing sound. Apparently this slime is extremely corrosive. Advertisement. What's even more terrifying is that the monster's tail has sharp jagged barbs, and the tail can actually stretch. At this moment, the longest distance of the monster's tail is more than 50 meters. It was swaying from side to side, and the surrounding trees just touched this terrifying tail, or were directly stabbed into hedgehogs. It was immediately uprooted. Looking at the aura exuding from this monster, it is already infinitely close to the god level. And the aura around Kagaya Ji dropped 1 level again, to the 2nd level of transcendence. If he hadn't been able to teleport thousands of meters away, he might have been right under the monster's mouth. At this time, Kagaya Ji was running rapidly in the direction of Qixing. Qixing glanced at the heaven in front of him. My friend was being chased by a strange creature and I had to save him. However, as Tiandao became more and more familiar with the rules of this world, he became more confused and asked unclearly. Boy, this is not a Pure Land world. Nonsense, of course not. This is just a mysterious tomb of gods in the Pure Land world. Damn it. I feel like the rules of this world are so different from the world I live in. Many abilities don't work here at all. Stop talking nonsense and save people quickly. It's not that I won't save you, I can't control the rules of this world at all. And in that blow just now, I forcibly used the power of rules and used up all the energy I had accumulated. Unless I return to the Pure Land world, I can't absorb the divine power here at all. So the recovery is very slow. FK. Don't you just want my ninja heavenly way? Take it. Boy, even if you give me the body of the ninja realm of heaven in your hand now, I can't swallow it in a short time, because the rules of this secret realm are the rules of the super world. To me, it's like a stranger entered a golden Yamanaka. You look at the gold, it sparkles, and your heart beats wildly, but how much can you take away by yourself? This is the situation I am in now. Hearing what Tiandao said, 10,000 grass and mud horses galloped past Qixing's heart. Is what the system guy said true? Ding. The Pure Land Heavenly Way's statement is completely true. Close black lens bracket. In other words, you are useless now. You can't say that. I know a lot of things. If you don't understand anything, you can ask me. Damn it, you know a lot of shit. Do you know as much as my system? Well, boy, who is the system you are talking about? He is actually more knowledgeable than me.
Roll. At this moment, Qixing didn't want to deal with this waste at all. I spent so much effort to get you out, but it's totally useless. Fortunately, I got the sky shield. I hope this thing can be useful. The angry Qixing could only go into battle in person. While his body was rushing forward, he was quickly refining the sky-shielding shield, and at the same time, he had already started the Super Saiyan 4 transformation. At this moment, Qixing's whole body was wrapped in terrifying blue flames, and a long blue tail was dragged out for 1,000 meters behind him. It only took less than 10 seconds for the 7 stars to cross a distance of 10 kilometers and appear in Kagayaji's field of vision. At this moment, Kagayaji saw the appearance of Qixing, and her tense golden body instantly relaxed. At this moment, when the giant beast was 1,000 meters away from Kagayaheim, it was full of jagged barbs and crashed straight towards Kagayaheim. Qixing was really shocked by this. He thought that his tail could be at most 50 meters long, but no one expected that this guy's tail could suddenly extend for 1,000 meters. Chapter 248 Scarlet Fear. At this dangerous moment, the sky shielding shield is still 50% short of being refined. Qixing had no time to think too much. With a loud shout, the infinite airspace immediately expanded. But even if Qixing fully expanded his domain, it seemed that he could not fully play his role in front of this monster. Moreover, the tail groove of the giant beast was so strong that it penetrated the infinite folding airspace of 7 stars in an instant. Stab straight towards Kagayaheim's head. Damn, this scene scared Qixing quite a bit. The system immediately purchases the teleportation talisman and uses the teleportation talisman immediately. Ding, congratulations to host, you spent 20,000 points to purchase a teleportation talisman and successfully activated the teleportation talisman. Close black lens bracket. It was at this critical moment, less than a kilometer away from Kagayaheim, that Qixing came to Kagayaheim in an instant, picked up her waist, and fell to the side. The giant beast's tail groove was right against Qixing's face. The cold light flickered above, making Qixing scared for a while. I always thought that this teleportation talisman was expensive and useless. A 20,000 teleportation talisman can only teleport 1,000 meters, which is really disgusting, but this time it finally came in handy. At this time, Nanahoshi rolled on the spot while holding Kagayaheim. Then he stood up, used a teleportation talisman again with a painful look on his face, and fled quickly towards the back. And in the process of this rapid attack, the 7-star sky shielding cover has been refined by 80%. It was at this time that the scarlet monster finally woke up. The prey that he thought he could catch 100% slipped away from Ibagan. At this moment, the scarlet monster roared towards Qixing, and the terrifying sound waves radiated in a fan shape. The monster made a big jump with all its strength, and its speed was as fast as ultimate. The distance between the 7 stars was 3,000 meters, and it was just a matter of this jump. Qixing had no choice but to use the teleportation charm again, which was painful. Sir, I will definitely get back what I lost from you. And when the giant beast's big foot stepped on Nanahoshi and Kagayaheim, the two disappeared from the gap between the giant beast's toes again. Continuing like this is not an option. I can only try the Daluo mask. With that said, Qixing once again put on this mask that transcended the divine level. Daluo Tianyan. At this moment, the giant beast was chasing after Qixing. Qixing did not run away this time. Instead, he held Kagayaji with his right hand and threw it out. He quickly made a secret with his left hand and activated Daluo Tianyan's special ability. Daluo Tianyan. Tianluo changes. With enough energy support, it can be transformed into countless things. It is one of the abilities that comes with wearing the Daluo Tianyan mask. Not only can it absorb energy attacks several times beyond its own once a day, it can also transform into anything you have seen. A creature, but the larger it is, the greater the cost. It cannot bring its own special abilities. At this time, Qixing's body was rapidly expanding. The legs became extremely thick and grew rapidly, and hard horny armor began to grow all over the body, and countless spikes appeared on the armor. The most bizarre thing is that Qixing's face is elongating rapidly, with 2 jagged jaws derived from the face, and countless sharp fangs in the big mouth are opening and closing. In the end, Qixing's body turned into a scarlet monster that was exactly the same as the monster in front of him. When Qixing completed his transformation, the scarlet monster on the opposite side froze on the spot. The giant tail that was raised high and flashing with cold light, and was about to stab Qixing, also stopped steadily in midair. At this time, the scarlet beast's big head didn't have much thinking ability. He was also wondering why the guy in front of him looked so similar to me. Immediately, it tentatively extended its huge tail that shone with cold light towards the 7 stars. Qixing was in a panic at this moment, fearing that the monster would find out that he was a fake. Advertisement. He stood there without moving. He just glanced at his current attribute panel. It doesn't matter at this glance, his attribute panel has undergone earth-shaking changes. Target. Crimson Terror, Uchiha Qixing is in the state of transformation. Age. 2,400 years old. Realm. Transcending the 9th level peak, false god. Because I don't have my own little world, I can't break through to the true god level. Close black lens bracket. Combat power. Beyond the 9th level peak, pseudo god. Talents. Hard shell, invincible sting. Skills. Sting of fear, giant tail feast. Strongly acidic saliva. Special ability. Cannot simulate the monster's special ability, whale of destruction. Seeing his current state, Qixing was shocked and also thinking about how to take Kagai out of here. At this moment, the monster's tail was only 1 step away from the 7 stars. Qixing understood that if he didn't launch an attack at this time, it would be difficult to have a chance to seriously injure the monster. At this moment, the monster transformed by Qixing suddenly spat out a mouthful of thick phlegm, strong acid, from its huge mouth. The strong acid flew quickly towards the monster's face. The monster's big head shook from side to side, easily dodging the mouthful of phlegm. However, when the monster looked at Qixing again, Qixing's ultimate move had already been used. I saw Qixing turned into a monster, holding the dimensional blade tightly in his big hand, and quickly swung several knives towards the sky. The scarlet monster didn't know why, but the scarlet fear transformed by the 7 stars roared. Thunder and fire formation, purple lightning crazy thunder slash. I saw several sword energy flying high into the sky, submerging into the clouds in the sky. The clouds were instantly shrouded in gold, and the next second purple thunder was generated out of thin air in the distance. The moment the thunder emerged from the clouds, it turned into a dimensional blade with purple thunder fire. The broadsword broke away from the clouds and fell rapidly downwards. In the process of falling rapidly, each knife grew crazily to a height of 100 meters. And there are as many as 81 handles. The broadswords rained down like rain, with a range exceeding a kilometer, directly swamping the unprepared scarlet beast. The giant beast was struck by the purple electric dimensional blade, let out a shrill roar, and began to struggle hard. With brute force, Jin Ran tore open the thunder and fire array, revealing the scarlet head. At this moment, the monster has confirmed that the guy in front of him who was the same as him is an enemy, and he is no longer polite. It actually activated a special ability that even 7 stars mask couldn't simulate. The monster's extended head and the giant teeth in its mouth began to tremble at the same frequency, and a sound wave visible to the naked eye blew towards the 7 stars. Qixing only heard an extremely frightened wailing. This sound wave instantly broke through the defenses of the 7 stars and reached the 6 senses. Qixing only felt countless sounds penetrating his eardrums. And the sound is still sustaining damage. Just when Qixing was about to lose his support, Qixing's mask and Da Luo Tianyan's defense mechanism were triggered, blocking all subsequent impacts for Qixing. This allowed Qixing to stabilize his figure, but the energy in the mask was exhausted by the monster's sonic attack, and Qixing's transformation was naturally cancelled. Chapter 249 Escape from the clutches of the giant beast. When the scarlet behemoth saw this, it used both hands to tear apart the thunder and fire array. Qixing did not agree at this moment. A ray of light directly hit the dimensional blade, and then he shouted to the sky. Thunder and fire array, array. At this moment, the 99 and 81 thunder and fire dimensional knives were seen rising from the ground in an instant, rushing to a height of 1,000 meters, and at a height of 1,000 meters, they were arranged in the form of 9 palaces 8 trigrams. And on each sword, there is a purple lightning bolt, and the purple lightning connects the 81 swords. The moment the link was completed, purple light erupted in the sky, and a 1,000-meter purple light beam connected the sky and the earth, directly covering the scarlet giant beast that had just torn through the thunder and fire array. At this moment, within the purple light pillar, 99 and 81 dimensional blade clones were constantly interspersed in the light pillar. The giant beast's hard armor finally cracked in large areas under the constant impact of the dimensional blade clones. However, just when Qixing thought that all this would end like this, the giant beast in the purple light pillar actually grew in size at a speed visible to the naked eye, at first 100 meters, 300 meters, 500 meters, and then 1,000 meters. But in just 3 breaths, the giant beast grew to 10,000 meters in length. The 7-star thunder and fire array was directly supported by the monster and exploded. All dimensional blade clones disappeared. The monster is just a hard shell with traces of bloodline flowing out. Seeing this, Qixing had given up the idea of confronting the monster. He knew that this monster was not something he could kill now. Damn it, you can't even break through his defense. I'm afraid even a god level 1 might not be able to kill him. At this time, Qixing raised the idea of leaving with Hokage, but the 10,000-meter giant beast blocks the sky and the sun. If the opportunity does not happen in the end, I can only use the mark of the Tianji formation to leave. But once I leave, it means that I won't get a divine corpse. If I miss this opportunity in the secret realm of the divine tomb, if I want to quickly increase my strength to the peak of transcendence, I'm afraid it will take until the year of the monkey and the moon of the horse. Just as Qixing was thinking about countermeasures, the giant beast's scarlet eyes looked at the ants below without mercy. After raising its giant leg to Qixing's head, it immediately dropped heavily. Not far away, Kagaya seemed to be frightened when she saw Qixing, and flew towards Qixing desperately. Go quickly and leave this place to me. I have a way to escape. As she spoke, she wanted to push Nanahoshi away and bear all this by herself. However, no matter how hard Kagaya tried, she could not move Nanahoshi at all. At this moment, the 7 stars are like a tree, growing underground. But the scarlet beast's big foot has stepped down, and Kagaya has no choice but to hold Qixing and wait quietly for death. However, I waited and waited, but I couldn't wait for the sound of the giant foot falling. He only heard Qixing whispering in his ear, "Why, do you really want to die for love with me?" Hearing this, Kagaya instantly opened her eyes and looked at Qixing. "Are you, not dead?" Certainly. After reacting, Kagaya blushed slightly and immediately let go of Nanahoshi. "I just want to save you." I see. Hearing Qixing's answer, Kagaya breathed a sigh of relief. Then he looked up and saw a big foot above his head, stepping on it, but he couldn't break through the glass barrier in front of him. At this moment, Qixing and the green-skinned Gigi are enveloped in a 100-meter-sized glass ball. Advertisement. Qixing didn't know why, and was about to ask, but she didn't expect Qixing to speak. Master Qixing, is there any way in your memory to return to the God's Tomb space? The Death Tomb abyss is full of dangers. I'm afraid it's difficult for us to get rid of this monster in front of us in this state. And we don't know what life-threatening dangers are waiting for us later. There is no such thing. In Jia Li's memory, the space in the Dead Tomb abyss is extremely solid. No matter how powerful the teleportation array is, it will shrink by more than half here. I can only guarantee that there is a short-distance teleportation that can teleport us hundreds of kilometers away. Formation, and then we're looking for an exit. That's okay. You arrange it first. But can you guarantee that this monster can't break through our barrier? Of course. Don't worry. My sky shielding shield can withstand the attacks of god-level experts. Good. Give me a fairy bean, and I will cast a spell to build a short-distance passage. The Death Tomb abyss should not be far from the God's Tomb space. Good. Qixing immediately threw out a dozen fairy beans and said with a smile, it's enough. Qixing rolled her eyes at Qixing, picked up a fairy bean and stuffed it into her mouth. In an instant, most of her breath was restored. At this moment, Qixing began to take out many weird small objects from her personal space. While setting up an unknown formation, he explained to Qixing. I found this short-distance teleportation array from Jia Li's memory. It's called the Heavenly Sending Universe Array. It's a yin-yang technique specially developed for short-distance teleportation. It's also very simple and doesn't require many materials. This is also the inheritance that the Otsutsuki clan only had 10,000 years ago. In my generation, I don't know why a lot has been lost. What I am holding in my hand now is the core of the Heavenly Sending Universe formation, which is also the ultimate application of the law of space. This may be very helpful for you to understand the secrets of space. I will give this thing to you for use after I get out. Thank you. The two of them just chatted with each other. As time went by, finally after half a quarter of an hour, a circular array disk in Qixing's hand was filled with strange space runes. When all the runes were lit up, a teleportation array with a radius of 1 meter began to operate. The extremely obvious spatial ripples around it are radiating outward. At some point, the rune's color changes to green. Qixing spoke. Okay, the door over there has been opened. Although I don't know where it is, it can at least ensure that the surrounding kilometers are safe, because the green runes on it indicate that there is nothing around that can hurt the teleportation array. Well, I obviously understand. You go in first and wait for me over there. I'll be here soon. Hearing this, Qixing's eyes became serious. Qixing gave a comforting look. Don't worry, I won't make fun of my own life. After hearing this, Qixing looked at Gigi who was seriously injured and sleeping. He turned around and stood on the conveyor, disappeared in the next second, and then appeared 100 kilometers away. Looking at Qixing at this moment, he just raised his head and glanced at the giant beast in front of him. He immediately put away the sky cover. The giant beast's big feet immediately stepped towards Qixing. Qixing didn't panic at all. He was already standing on the teleporter. A golden kunai in his hand was thrown towards the giant beast, hitting the giant beast's big foot. Immediately, the figure of Qixing disappeared directly on the spot, and the giant beast's big foot also slammed into the ground at this moment. Chapter 250 Shinigami's Conspiracy. The next moment, the whole place began to shake. The angry giant beast felt that the aura of its prey had disappeared, and became even more angry. At this moment, it is destroying the ground crazily. I want to find the 7 stars. But at this time, the 7 stars had already passed through the teleportation array and appeared 100 miles away. And when Qixing walked out of the teleportation array, he saw Qixing's anxious face, looking in the direction of the teleportation array. Qixing saw this and chuckled twice. I'll just tell you, Qixing, I'll be fine. You, Xiao Qixing, don't take risks alone in the future. It is my duty to protect you. Even if the rest of us die, it will be nothing, but you can't die like this. You still have a great future. Hearing Qixing say this, Qixing was a little touched. Although he knew that all this was due to the power of the contract and the subtle influence. But from the time he came to this world to the present, no one has cared about him as much as Qixing. Nanahoshi smiled happily, so what about the power of the contract? From now on, Qixing can be regarded as my relative. Okay, Qixing, don't worry. I won't be so reckless next time. Yeah, let's go. Go out quickly. The cemetery of the god's tomb has been opened. Those guys may have dug up the god's corpse. You have a beautiful idea. How can it be so easy to excavate the corpse of a god? Not to mention that the location of a god's tomb is difficult to find. Secondly, every god's tomb has countless dangers. Although these guys are all lower gods, even dead lower gods are not ordinary guys who transcend the realm and can be coveted. You think everyone is as pervert as you, possessing a star weapon that transcends artifacts. Oh, Qixing, do you know about star weapons and what is a lower god? I don't even know about this. I just fused the memory of Jia Li and heard the Otsutsuki god call the weapon in the hand of one of his friends as a star weapon. That is something that only lower gods can touch. I'm afraid there is no such thing even in this world. Okay, forget it, let's not study these now. The urgent task now is to find the divine corpse and break through the realm. Let's go. Let's go out. Get out. How to get out? This place is shrouded in endless fog and the visibility is less than 100 meters. Kagaya, just follow me. As he spoke, Qixing raised his hand towards the sky. Come out, I know you have found me, sir, now is your time to show your worth. Suddenly a voice came from the dark clouds in the sky. Boy, have some respect for this heavenly Tao. When I absorb this ninja heavenly Tao, I will be able to advance to the high-level world. You still need to trouble me for such a small thing as leading the way. Haha, I don't need to trouble you, after all, you are a waste, but I think you should know where the exit out of this abyss of death is. You, forget it, for the sake of the big gift you gave me, I won't argue with you. If you go less than 100 miles to the south, you will see a stone mountain less than 1,000 meters long. The top of the stone mountain is connected to the outside, where the space is weakest. It can be passed easily without any force required. Of course, a few guys have set up a barrier there. But I believe that for you, you can easily break the barrier. Advertisement. Okay, you know the way, so don't bother me anymore to absorb and assimilate the ninja world, okay? Okay, just keep up. Let's go Kagaya. At this moment, Kagaya Ji looked confused. Shao Qixing, what kind of existence were you talking to just now? Oh, you are talking about that guy. He is the poor will of heaven in the Pure Land world. Ah, quote. You said he is the will of heaven in the Pure Land world, then how did he get into the abyss of the death tomb in the secret realm of the god's tomb? Haha, it seems that he was sealed here by some powerful cultivators. But the exact situation is unknown. Listening to what you said, I always feel that this matter is very familiar, but why can't I remember it? Don't think about it if you can't remember it. Maybe it's because Geely doesn't want you to know this. After all, you can't completely control his memory after fusion. Well, let's go. At this time, Kagaya Ji is no longer entangled. Although he really wants to know why the Pure Land's heaven will listen to him, there are some things that Qixing won't say, and it's hard for him to ask. After all, the boy in front of him has already created something in front of him. There are too many miracles, and I don't care about one more now. The two of them walked along like this. Qixing dragged Tianji Tower along the way. As long as the tower spirit felt that the direction was dangerous, Qixing could only take a detour. However, they were lucky. The two of them walked quickly without encountering any obstacles. They walked in just half an hour. 100 miles away, I saw the rocky mountain mentioned in the Pure Land of Heaven. Although the place was shrouded in red mist at this moment, the 1,000-meter stone mountain was clearly visible. It's like a light in the darkness, eye-catching. Qixing no longer hesitated. After greeting Kagaya, Ji climbed to the top of the mountain, and then threw out a broken formation talisman. The formation on the top of the mountain was instantly broken, and the two of them dodged directly, and finally walked out of the abyss of the death tomb. At the same time, when the formation was broken, the four kings of the Pure Land, Shinigami, Hades, Evil God, and Yongshen, instantly sensed the changes in the formation. The four of them looked at each other. Hey, how could anyone find such a hidden barrier? Could it be that Jia Li found that kid and brought him out? It's probably better that we plan ahead. Since neither Jia Li nor the boy died there, and they came out of there safely, we must keep Jia Li in the secret realm of the god's tomb. If he does not die, even if we get the approval of heaven, we will not be able to completely control this place. The huge Pure Land world. At this moment the evil god spoke. Brother Yuzan is right, I agree. The god of Hades and the god of Yang looked at each other and said yes. Shinigami felt very happy when he heard the three guys agreed. Okay, then I will take out all the divine corpses in my hands and let everyone distribute them. Moreover, I also have a large formation here called the God Transformation and Energy Capture Array, which can be used to decompose the divine corpses and absorb the pure energy from them. Purified for us to absorb. Now as long as everyone absorbs the power of the divine corpse, as long as we all break through to the 9th level of transcendence, we will have a chance to work together to kill Jia Li. Hearing this, the evil god, the god of Hades, and the god of Yang looked at each other in confusion, although the three of them didn't believe that Shinigami would suddenly be so good, so they were allowed to break through first, but at this time the arrow was on the string and had to be fired. Even if I know there's a scam involved, I can't help it. This is the best way at the moment. Chapter 251 Collecting Divine Corpses. At this moment, one of the three people took away Shinigami's two divine corpses, but none of them noticed that Shinigami actually took out the divine corpses from his prototype world. Because it is impossible for ordinary containers to hold a god-level corpse. Only those spaces that can contain life can accommodate the body of God. However, even at this moment when Shinigami was careless and revealed a hidden opportunity, none of the three of them noticed it. But if Qixing is here, check Shinigami's information and you will know, this guy Shinigami is an absolute B*******************. D. He has been hiding his strength. He is already a person who has surpassed the peak of the 9th level. He is only one step away from the god level. Moreover, he also has enough divine corpses and has enough energy to break through. More importantly, he has his own prototype world, but no one knows why he has been reluctant to break through. At this time, Hades raised his own question. Brother Yuzan, why don't you use the divine corpse to break through to the 9th level of transcendence? Brother Ming, the three of you are about to break through to the 8th level of transcendence, and you need this energy. You break through the realm first, and I will protect you first. Moreover, the operation of the formation also requires me to provide sufficient energy supply. The three of them thought it made sense. Then they sat cross-legged and suspended in the air, and the 6 divine corpses turned into powder in front of the three of them, and then transformed into huge divine power. Come together. The three of them sucked with big mouths, and countless majestic divine power was poured into their mouths. At this moment, the three of them began to absorb energy. When Shinigami saw these three guys, they all took their gifts and looked at the three of them with a smile on their faces. He murmured, "You guys have been cautious for hundreds of years, and you haven't been fooled today." At this moment, Shinigami had an evil smile on his face. I'll raise you to the 9th level of transcendence first. As for the three people in front of Shinigami, Yanran has absorbed enough divine power to start a breakthrough beyond the 8th level. This scene lasted for half an hour. They saw countless muffled thunders exploding in the bodies of the three of them, and their faces began to twist. It was obvious that their bodies were suffering from great pain. However, Shinigami just waved his hand, and a cool energy spread throughout the three people's bodies, and then the breakthrough to the 8th level of transcendence was naturally achieved. The one who made the first breakthrough was Hades. Ha 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 ha, this realm that has troubled me for decades has broken through. It's great. Brother Yuzan, I, Yan Junwang, have recorded your love. The evil god woke up next, and he was very happy to be able to break through a realm again so quickly. The last one is Yang Shen. He broke through the realm not long ago, and he made another breakthrough less than a year ago. He always feels that there is something weird, but he can't put it in words. At this moment, the three of them woke up and all thanked Shinigami. However, the energy in the God transformation formation was still sufficient, so the three of them withdrew from the formation with some reluctance. Shinigami saw the thoughts of the three people and said immediately, "Brother Yan, Brother Huo, Brother Cam, you can absorb it. The energy of these 6 divine corpses is enough for the 4 of us to break through to the 9th level of transcendence, and there is still some left." As he spoke, Shinigami also walked into the center of the God transforming energy seizing formation. The three of them were not surprised when they saw this. The energy in the center of the formation was of course the most abundant, and this formation was created by Shinigami. He was at the center of the formation. The center absorbs energy, which is understandable. But the three of them were still too naive. This guy Shinigami plots everything in the Pure Land world, how can he enjoy it on an equal footing with others? When all three of them closed their eyes and absorbed energy again, Shinigami smiled. Advertisement. Absorb it to your heart's content. When you break through to the 9th level, it will be the moment when my God transformation and soul seizing formation is activated. At that moment, all the information you three guys have will belong to me. At that time, my body will have enough energy, and my foundation will be even more terrifying. I am afraid that I can break through to the God level at any time. Thinking of this, Shinigami is even more excited. Now let you enjoy the pleasure of breakthrough again. At this moment, the scene changed. Since Qixing broke through the barrier, he successfully walked out of the abyss of the Death Tomb with Kagaya-ji and Pure Land Tendo. Qixing also saw the green secret realm of the God's Tomb again. At this moment, Tiandao is like a happy duck, regaining freedom and new life. The dark cloud-like clouds kept changing their shapes. It's not enough to praise Qixing. Boy, what exactly is the talisman you threw out just now? It's an artifact. Just such a small talisman actually broke the enchantment of a 4-sided shadow array. Qixing didn't answer, just smiled. This ninja world's Tiandao is not like human beings, who can change their minds at will. The essence of Tiandao's will is nothingness. He has nothing in the first place, and there is no change. The power of the 7-star contract can bind the ninja world's heaven, but it cannot change the mind of heaven's will. This is also the bad news just learned from the system. So Qixing didn't want to tell him many things. At this moment, Qixing was looking at the forest ahead. The ultra-distance exploration had already started. The scenes within 100 miles quickly flashed through his mind. Suddenly Qixing said excitedly, "Kagaya, the cemetery is right there. I didn't expect it to be so close. Just 80 miles to the north. Yes, I can already smell the scent there. Let's go and start robbing the tombs and digging up the corpses of gods." "Hey kid, wait for me, I have my share of the divine corpse, right? What do you want that thing for? You have no use for it. Silly, the way of heaven can have an incarnation. If there is a suitable divine corpse, it can be a very powerful help." "Well, I remember a certain guy said that with such arrogance, how could he need such boring things?" "Did I? There's no way I couldn't have said such a thing. You must have heard wrong. Okay, stop talking nonsense, it's business that matters." As he spoke, Qixing took the lead and walked towards the God's Tomb cemetery. This time 7 stars traveled at full speed and it only took a few minutes to arrive at the gate of the cemetery. There were not many cultivators in front of the gate at this moment, and most of them were probably digging for the corpses of gods. Qixing ducked into it, and before he had gone far, he saw 3 blood guards fighting over a coffin, which was as black as ink. The strongest of these guys were only at the first level of transcendence. Qixing didn't say anything, just dodged a few times and rushed forward. At this time, Qixing's basic strength had already reached the first level of transcendence. The violent energy made the five guys confronting each other feel fear in their hearts. At this moment, on both sides of the battlefield, the two most powerful ones were only on par with Qixing. Seeing Qixing, the transcendent first-level evil star that suddenly appeared, the five people instantly changed the target of their attack. The five people facing each other all started to attack Qixing. Chapter 252 Xing Wushang. Qixing, who had just rushed over, was stunned for a moment. I don't understand why these guys, who were fighting so well, suddenly changed their targets and attacked themselves. But the situation at this time did not allow Qixing to think so much. Qixing's aura surged, his whole body was wrapped in green aura, and even his green hair stood upside down. And the strength of the first level of Transcendence Realm instantly increased to the third level of Transcendence Realm. I just slightly raised my strength by 2 levels, and after fighting these guys for 3 rounds, they were all knocked down by Qixing. At this moment, the 3 blood guards flew hundreds of meters upside down. They gritted their teeth and looked at each other. The leader of the blood guards signaled, as long as you get with 1 drop of that guy's blood, they can kill him. At this moment, the 3 of them directly transformed into a cursed state, and their strength doubled instantly. After stabilizing their bodies, the 3 of them formed a double team, trying to surround Qixing. But Qixing had already understood the thoughts of these 3 people, and the infinite airspace was instantly opened. 3's attacks struck in 3 directions, and 3 blood-colored chains penetrated the space and attacked Qixing's 3 key locations: face, chest, and lower body. However, when the chain was less than 1 foot away from Qixing, it was still unable to contact Qixing's body. Upon seeing this, the 3 people roared, "Black Death Evil Light, activated." Looking at the black circle on the foreheads of the 3 people, a string of black beams of light shot out, hitting the blood-colored chains. The next moment, with the help of God, the bloody chain seemed to be thinking. The direction of its forward movement completely avoided the folded space set by 7 stars in the field, and shot straight towards 7 stars. Qixing was a little flustered when he saw this, and directly scattered all the folding spaces in the field. But the chain suddenly flashed to the left and flickered, abruptly, and a broad road emerged from the realm of 7 stars. The 3 blood guards were excited, thinking they had finally caught this kid. But the next moment, 3 blood-colored chains suddenly disappeared from the sight of the 3 of them, and they could not even sense their own chains. The 3 of them were shocked. This is an artifact that is intertwined with our lives. It will be gone if you don't say it. Looking at Qixing again, he saw that 9 Magatama had appeared in Qixing's eyes. Circles of ripples are turning in the eyes, and in the beautiful world of green water and green mountains in the eyes, there are 3 chains that are destroying crazily. At the same time, there is a terrifying force of suppression in this world, which is forcibly taming the 3 artifact chains. That's right, this world is the prototype world of 7 stars. When Qixing broke through to the realm of transcendence, the seeds of his prototype world finally sprouted and merged with his black and white world to become a real prototype small world. It took Shinigami nearly 10,000 years of infighting to finally obtain this kind of rudimentary small world, but here at Qixing, it was just a breakthrough to a big realm, and it was successfully harvested by the way. I have to say that Qixing's luck is really terrifying. Looking at the battlefield at this moment, the 3 blood guards were making seals with their hands, as if they were communicating with their chains, but they couldn't sense them at all. They didn't know what method Qixing used to make their natal artifact, soul-locking chain, unable to be sensed, and they broke out in a cold sweat. What's the situation? What kind of method did this guy use to take away our weapons? I don't know, but I know that even Lord Evil God doesn't have this kind of method. Could it be that this guy is a god-level strongman, pretending to be a pig and eating the tiger? Impossible. If he is a god-level expert, we can still compete with him here. I'm afraid he will die after just 1 encounter. But if he is not a god-level powerhouse, then he must have a treasure that surpasses the god level. This guy is very difficult to deal with, and the woman behind him looks familiar to me, but I just can't remember who it is. Come on, let's leave first. Advertisement. Damn it, the 2 guys from Hades just pretended to be dead and escaped. We are the only ones who are stupid enough to fight with this kid. You 2 go first, I'll hold this kid back, don't worry, I can find a way to escape. Don't think about it, Commander, you haven't seen this guy's speed just now. I don't think you can escape. Hearing this voice, the commander felt very strange as to why this voice came from far behind. When the Blood Guard leader turned to look behind him, his 2 most proud subordinates had already escaped several thousand meters away. If the leading Blood Guard had turned back later, he might not have been able to see the backs of these 2 guys. What the hell did you say that you can't escape? If you can't escape, you'll run faster than anyone else. After saying this, the leader of the Blood Guard was a little angry. This is the guy that I have trained for 100 years, and he would abandon himself and run away just to survive. However, at this time, Qixing did not chase these 2 bugs at all. The 2 peak immortal level wastes had no value at all in Qixing's eyes. The leader of the Blood Guard in front of him is the target of 7 stars. Seeing that the leader of the Blood Guard was betrayed, Qixing said happily, "Ha ha ha, Xing Wushang, your disciples have betrayed you and they have escaped. How about you also betray the evil god and join me? Young man, you really think you've got me? Every commander of our 4 kingdoms is not something someone like you can easily deal with. Oh, Is it so? Yan Shisen was killed by me. Long Wuxian and Long Shizanji have already become my subordinates. Yan Linglong is also mine now. You are the only one left as the leader of the four kingdoms. What do you think? Do you want to consider coming to my place? Where's the side? Although your strength is very poor, all I want is your network. Boy, everyone can tell lies, but you are not afraid of the strong wind and flashing your tongue. Qixing laughed after hearing this. Whether it's true or not, you'll know soon. Saying that, Qixing directly started the transformation of Super Saiyan 3, and his strength instantly increased to the 4th level of transcendence. Although Xing Wushang was shocked when he saw this scene, Xing Wushang was also laughing at this moment. Boy, you are still too young. Within 1 minute of talking nonsense with you, I have already completed my transformation seal. You're too careless. Come out, my evil demon armor. And when the shadow of the dark armor appeared, Xing Wushang shouted again, evil demon changes. At this moment, Xing Wushang's body was filled with red aura, and then, a jet black magic armor really appeared in the red aura. The moment the magic armor appeared, it stuck to Xing Wushang's body. At this time, Xing Wushang's body grew larger, and at the same time he had wings on his back. His face was like a demon, his fangs popped out, and there were 2 horns on his head. The bright red demonic energy, and the surrounding trees all began to wither after encountering this bright red demonic energy. Chapter 253. From now on, your fate is up to me, not to God. In just 3 breaths, Xing Wushang's aura changed drastically, and his strength had already improved from the 1st level of transcendence to the 4th level of transcendence, abruptly crossing 3 small realms. Xing Wushang's body also increased from 2 meters to 5 meters. The most terrifying thing was the pair of flesh wings, as if there was endless space power flowing on the wings. At this moment, Xing Wushang exploded with even stronger power, flashed his wings, and appeared in front of Qixing in an instant. Although Qixing opened the folding space of the infinite airspace, he was ignored by this guy and punched him with great force, forcibly hammering the 7 stars 10,000 meters away. That's it. Quote. But before Xing Wushang finished speaking, he heard a disdainful voice coming from behind. Xing Wushang, I thought you were so strong, look at my 10 times Kaio fist. Quote. Xing Wushang sensed the danger, and a pair of flesh wings instantly surrounded him. But it didn't seem to happen. Xing Wushang, standing in the void, seemed to have become a sandbag for 7 stars. He was directly struck by the 7 stars tenfold Kaio fist and punched into the earth 1,000 meters deep. At this moment underground, Xing Wushang finally repeated one sentence, this is impossible, we are obviously in the same realm, why are you so strong? Why? Obviously I have transformed, why? But Xing Wushang was destined not to get the answer. Just listen to Qixing forming a seal with one hand and slamming it to the ground, Earth style, the Earth's crust is moving. Xing Wushang, who was thousands of meters above the ground, was directly pushed up from the ground by a hard stone pillar. The 7-star body flew into the sky and fell 10,000 pounds. He launched the sky-falling strike. Xing Wushang, who had just arrived on the ground, was directly hit by Qixing's terrifying blow, and instantly returned to the kilometer underground again. At this time, Xing Wushang Yanran was already dying. I just heard him murmuring, brother, I lost, I admit defeat. Don't hit me anymore, you will punch my intestines out again. Qixing seemed to hear this guy's cry underground, and the earth's crust moved again. Xing Wushang came to the ground again. However, the 5-meter body has shrunk to 3 meters. Although he still maintains the state of transformation, the aura around him has dropped to the 1st level of transcendence. Qixing didn't want to talk nonsense with this guy, so he directly threw out a trace contract scroll. Xing Wushang, sign this scroll. From now on, your fate is up to me, not to God. At this time, Xing Wushang didn't dare to resist, and he didn't know which part of his body forced a drop of blood essence to drip directly onto the scroll. The next second, Xing Wushang was wrapped in a golden light, and his body quickly returned to its best condition. At this time, Xing Wushang opened his eyes and looked at Qixing. The closer he got to this guy, the more mysterious he felt. I wanted to escape again, but I slowly gave up for some reason. As time went by, the more I looked at the 7 stars, the more pleasing they became. Finally, he knelt down on one knee and called young master. Qixing waved his hand, you'd better go back to your evil god. When I need you, you will know. Go ahead. Although Xing Wushang felt strange, he still followed Qixing's arrangement. Yes, I will take your orders. Advertisement. At this time, Qixing had time to walk into the black coffin and look inside. There was a powerful divine corpse sleeping inside. Just by approaching Qixing, he felt the endless power of law forcing him back. This body is at least the body of a middle god. Qixing was confused at this moment, how come the system has reached the level of a mid-level god and is it so easy to be killed? Ding! Under normal circumstances, middle-level gods can live up to 10,000 years, and some even longer. In the realm of gods, they are just ordinary existences, and there are upper-level gods above them. Above the upper gods there is a main god who rules a realm. Close black lens bracket. As long as he is stronger than them, he can easily kill those weaker than him, even in the realm of gods. And no one can guarantee immortality, but at the same time there are many people who don't want to die, so as long as you live long enough, you will become the strongest god and understand all the mysteries you want to understand. Close black lens bracket. Well, after hearing what the system said, Qixing also understood that the system was saying that he was not strong enough and told himself that there is still a lot of room for improvement. As the god level just the beginning. Then increase your strength to the god level first. After saying that, Qixing directly sacrificed himself from the Tianji Tower. After a white light, the divine corpse in black coffin was instantly taken away by Qixing. At this time, Qixing had not yet shown his strongest fighting ability, but he was already able to walk sideways in this cemetery. At this moment, after taking down the divine corpse in black coffin, the 7-star super distance exploration was fully launched. Everything that happens over 100 kilometers can be seen at a glance. In this way, Qixing continued to collect divine corpses through constant snatching. In a whole day, he collected 5 divine corpses, which made the cultivators present complain. They all wanted to kill Qixing, but unfortunately, they were not strong enough to do this. At this moment, Qixing was wandering around the god's tomb arrogantly, trying to take something away. However, he thought too much. There were divine corpses and divine power crystals in the god's tomb, and there were basically no good things. Just when Qixing was strolling around with Kagaya and Gigi, the 2 pieces of good news prompted by the system finally came. Ding! Congratulations to host, his subordinate Pure Land Heaven has successfully swallowed and merged with Ninja World Heaven. When host allows it, the 2 worlds will begin to merge. Close black lens bracket. Ding! Congratulations to host, your exclusive divine pet, Dandan, has successfully swallowed the colorful poisonous poison and gained the opportunity to advance to the level of life. Please host select the pet advancement direction. Close black lens bracket. 1. Evolve into a colorful sky swallowing beast and enter the juvenile stage again. The peak of immortal strength. 2. Evolving into the divine light poison Kirin, its strength will greatly increase, but it will stay in the growth stage for 100 years. It can only grow again after successfully digesting the poisonous poison in the body. The strength transcends the 9th level. 3. Evolve into the Teoshantian devouring beast, whose strength is greatly reduced, but the life level jumps directly to 2 levels. The growth limit has been raised again. Seeing these 3 advancement directions, Qixing hesitated a little. Do you want to see the later stages, or do you want the blessing of current strength? And this thing couldn't communicate with other people. Qixing wanted Eggy to choose, but this little thing was still sleeping. Forget it, you can't help a little guy like you now, so you should choose the later stage. System I choose 3. Evolve into the Teoshantian devouring beast. Ding! Host chooses the evolution direction 3. The selection is successful. Close black lens bracket. Ding! Pets are evolving and it will take 72 hours. Close black lens bracket. Seeing this, Qixing really hopes that this little thing can surprise me in the later stages. At this time, things here finally came to an end. After searching around, I couldn't find any divine corpse that could be picked up. Qixing simply told Kagaya that he would go to the small tower to absorb the divine corpse. I hope that Kagaya-ji and the small tower can also find a safe place to practice first and wait for the automatic closing of the secret realm of the god's tomb to send herself and others out. Chapter 254 The soul-seizing formation is open to suppress the 3 gods. And on the other side, in a very dark space, 4 strange figures with powerful auras were sitting in a circle. At this time, one of them opened his eyes, and the scarlet color was very eye-catching. Looking at the corners of this man's mouth, he was slightly raised while making strange murmuring sounds. These sounds were like some kind of Sanskrit chant. At the same time as the sounds were coming out, 3 thick black air currents were condensing in the sky. On the other side, the auras of the other 3 people around them were skyrocketing, as if they were about to break through their current realm. I saw the guy who opened his eyes and sighed softly. Has the time finally come? Well, this secret realm has been developed to the limit. It doesn't matter if you change it. These 3 guys are on the verge of a breakthrough, so let's open it, let's form a big formation. And the person who spoke was none other than the leader of the country of Yuzan, Shinigami, Yuzan Wuya. As soon as Shinigami finished speaking, 3 black streams of air poured in from above the heads of the other 3 people. At this time, the 3 people next to him had a white torrent emerging from their heads, which connected with the black air current above their heads. Instantly, the aura around the 3 people began to surge. In just an instant, it more than doubled in height. And this terrifying aura was still rising. The black airflow in the sky had been pouring in for half an hour before the terrifying aura gradually stabilized. And the 3 of them finally succeeded in breaking through the limit of the 8th level of transcendence and entering the 9th level of transcendence at the moment when the black air flow was about to finish. But even at this time, the 3 of them had not woken up because of the power of this 9th level of transcendence, although it is still rising due to the infusion of the remaining black airflow. At this time, Shinigami, seeing this scene, was already happy, because the black air flow was the strange power escaping from the eyes of his own god-transforming soul-seizing formation, which Shinigami called the spirit of the formation. I also know that the souls in my god-transforming soul-seizing formation were successfully poured into the bodies of those 3 guys. As long as the black air flow rapidly grows in the bodies of those 3 guys, he will be able to absorb the foundations of the 3 of them and get a chance to break through to the god level. However, these 3 people were betrayed by Shinigami without knowing it. After breaking through until now, the 3 people who finally stabilized themselves beyond the 9th level opened their eyes and greeted Shinigami one after another. And these 3 people are not the god of the sun, the god of Hades, and the god of evil, who else could they be? At this moment, the three people wake up. Although they don't trust Shinigami, they have taken advantage of others. Surface work still needs to be done. At this time, the three of them said in unison, Brother Yuzin, thank you very much. When Shinigami heard the three people's answers, he did not treat them politely as before, but said disdainfully, No, it's not you who should thank me, but I should thank you. Thank you for sending me such a good thing. The gift gives me enough foundation to break through the bottleneck of the god level. The three of them frowned when they heard Shinigami's words, Brother Yuzin, why can't we understand what you are talking about? When did we give you such an expensive gift? Ha ha ha, of course I gave it away. Just now, they broke through the realm. At this time, the god of Hades got angry and said in annoyance, Yuzin Wuya, don't play riddles for us. If you have anything to say, just say it. If you want any benefits, just say it. I know you have used so many gods. Corpse, you feel bad, I don't like people like you who like to calculate the most. Just say what you want. Okay, Yan Junwang, you are the most happy person. I think I want the supreme foundation of the three of you, so you won't have any objections. When Yang Shen heard this, he exploded completely. Yuzin Wuya, are you G crazy? You want the supreme foundation of the three of us, even if you get it, you can't use it, and our foundation is compared to your soul foundation, just not strong enough. Ha 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 ha, you are right about this, but have you ever heard of a formation called the God Transforming Soul Seizing Formation? Advertisement. You're talking about the legendary Ascension powerhouse in front of the Pure Land 10,000 years, the star-level formation of the Soul Emperor. The Soul Seizing Formation. You don't need to scare the three of me. That formation has been lost for tens of thousands of years. How can you possibly get it? Yeah, it doesn't matter if you don't believe it. This way you will die without pain. Don't think that if you give us some benefits, we won't fall out with you. Damn, lousy won't play with you anymore. Having said that, Hades was about to stand up, but suddenly, an invisible pressure came from inside his body, seemingly fighting for control of his body. While not allowing himself to use any power, he was also rapidly breaking through his own internal defenses and beginning to take over all functions of his body. Hades secretly said something bad. The terrifying aura immediately manifested. In the field of stunts, the soul-suppressing power was directly exerted, and it definitely had the potential to compete with the black airflow in the body. Upon seeing this, Shinigami smiled evilly, his body instantly appeared in front of Hades, and his big hand slammed down from the top of his head. The god of hell temporarily gained control of his body and raised his hands to cross to block. But Shinigami's move was too terrifying, and the difference in strength between the two sides was a bit too big. With just this one blow, Hades was knocked directly into the soil, leaving only one head exposed, looking at Shinigami in shock. How can you be so strong? I'm already at the 9th level of transcendence, but I can't even stand a chance against you. Shinigami chuckled disdainfully at this moment. Am I saying you are stupid, or should I say you are naive? You have hidden your cultivation and true combat power. You can even break through to the god level at any time. Why haven't you broken through? What on earth do you want to do? When Yang Shen and Xie Shen heard this, they were shocked and wanted to stand up and escape from here. But the next moment they found that a black airflow in their bodies was interfering with their bodies all the time, causing them to make wrong decisions. Action. At this moment Yang Shen roared. Yuzin Wuya, what did you do to us? Let me go quickly, otherwise the three of us will be rude. Shinigami didn't bother to answer Hades' words, and watched quietly as the three grasshoppers began to jump around for a while. Speak. Okay, I also want to see how strong you are, so come and be polite to me. The two of them stared at each other and were about to attack Shinigami, but suddenly they found that all the energy in their bodies could not be used. It seems that he is temporarily controlled by another self. This thought immediately stunned the two of them. Since then, we have been completely controlled by him. My perception has been unfolding since we got here. There are no factors that are detrimental to us within 1,000 meters around us. Why did it suddenly become like this? At this moment, Shinigami saw Yang Shen's doubts and smiled lightly. Are you wondering why your eyes and fire eyes didn't sense the presence of dangerous things around you at all? Why are you? Chapter 255 Shinigami's Soul Seizing Ceremony and Leaving the Secret Realm of the Tomb of Gods. Ha ha ha, because my soul-stealing formation has been modified countless times by me. At this moment, this formation only affects the foundation of the soul, so your eyes cannot detect it at all. As long as I fool your eyes, I know the other two guys will definitely follow you here. Yuzin Wuya, don't forget, we are your allies now. How would you deal with Jia Li and that kid without us? It's not up to you to worry about. Don't worry, I can break through to the god level at any time, but as long as I absorb your supreme soul foundation, I will even have a chance to hit the middle god. So I will be very grateful for your contribution. After saying this, Shinigami stopped talking nonsense, formed some kind of hand seal with his hands, and then slammed it to the ground. With a bang, layers of black mist rippled in the formation. Instantly drowned the evil god, the god of Hades and the god of Yang. The three of them were all struggling, but to no avail. As Shinigami's hand seals loosened, the black smoke swallowed the three of them, and in an instant the three of them began to be forced to transform and become the most primitive energy bodies. I saw Yang Shen activated the fierce sun transformation and instantly transformed into a 100-meter giant. The god of Hades activated the Yama transformation and instantly transformed into a 100-meter six paths king of Yama. Looking at the evil god again, he opened his unique transformation, the evil devil transformation. The evil god had two horns on his head and wings on his back. His huge body was scarlet and manic, like the devil coming. But at this moment, these three giants were unable to control their bodies at all, as if they had lost their souls. Just stood there quietly, motionless. When Shinigami saw the transformation of the three people completed, he also started his transformation. Shinigami shouted loudly, and the Wanwa corpse soul transformed. On the ground, countless terrifying spirits swarmed over, ranging from 6 paths realm to 9th level transcendence. At this moment, countless spirits began to swim around Shinigami and the other three giants, and then poured directly into Shinigami's body from above his head. Seeing that Shinigami's aura began to change, and countless powerful spiritual entities poured in, Shinigami's body began to expand, and his body began to gradually become larger, 10 meters, 50 meters, 100 meters. As it grew bigger, there were even more signs of breaking through to the early stage of god level, but Shinigami discovered this and abruptly stopped this opportunity for breakthrough. He knew that without fully absorbing the 4 major soul bases, he could only become a lower god at most. But if he successfully absorbed 3 soul bases, Shinigami would even have a 50% chance of breaking through 2 realms in a row. Become an unprecedented middle god in this world. At that time, the Otsutsuki clan will be nothing more than a piece of my own possession, and even if the Otsutsuki divine form is reincarnated and returns, it will only be on the same level as me. By then, my name, Shinigami Yuzen, will spread throughout the 300 small worlds. Thinking of this, Shinigami roared again. The soul-stealing formation begins to capture souls. In an instant, 4 true soul spirits, including Shinigami himself, rushed out from the bodies of the 4 giants, and then began to converge at the eye of the soul-stealing array. When the other 3 saw Shinigami, they wanted to kill him. But in this big formation, the 3 of them have no power at all. He can only be at the mercy of Shinigami. At this moment, Shinigami's true spirit opened its mouth and suddenly sucked the 3 people's true spirits into its abdomen. The next second, a millstone appeared in the abdomen of Shinigami's true spirit. This was the eye and base of the soul-stealing array. Just listen to the base of the formation, there is a clear buzzing sound, and then the base of the formation begins to rotate, and I see that the millstone is getting faster and faster. The true spirits of the evil god, the sun god, and the god of the underworld are directly ground into pieces and turned into starlight. Janjian merged into Shinigami's true spirit body. At this moment, Shinigami's true soul sat cross-legged in the formation and began to frantically absorb the 3 people's true soul base. At that second, it seemed like a minute had passed, and it seemed like a century had passed. Shinigami's true spirit opened his eyes again, and kept making seals with his hands. The moment he waved his big hand, a line of drills hit the formation, and the formation it turned into a huge millstone and began to grind the 4 bodies. And Shinigami shouted again. Advertisement. 4 soul foundations, cast 4 soul bodies. Condensation. When the word Ning was exited, Shinigami's true spirit seemed to be rimmed with gold and began to glow with golden light. This turned out to be the true spirit directly breaking through to the false god. As long as the physical body breaks through to the god level, the soul can enter the god level at the same time. This is the dual cultivation of soul and body. Shinigami's heart is really greedy. At this moment, the Shinigami's true spirit, which was inscribed in gold, returned to his own body in an instant, and then opened his mouth again, and swallowed the transformed bodies of the other 3 people in one bite, and swallowed them into his belly at the same time. As long as I successfully absorb the bodies of these 3 guys, I will have the 4 great foundations and the 4 soul foundations. When the time comes, my soul and body will reach the god level at the same time, and I will be able to attack the middle god, and I will be able to capture them easily. Thinking of the happy place, Shinigami laughed wildly. But suddenly, a strange ripple appeared in the void, which seemed to be the opening of a passage out of the secret realm. Why is this secret realm of the Tomb of Gods about to be closed so soon? Fortunately, I completed the soul-stealing ritual in time, otherwise all my efforts would have been wasted. It seems like they are helping me all day long. With that said, Shinigami put on his iconic coat and walked into the passage out of the secret realm. And on the other side, Kagaya found a dense jungle and put down the injured Gigi. The moment she woke up, Gigi melted into a tree. As time went by, this giant tree of 100 meters slowly turned into a tree. A small sapling with a thick wall, Gigi also jumped out of it intact. Master Jia Li, I sense that this secret realm is about to close, and there will be a passage leading down soon. I want to leave with you. Gigi, this is your home. It's too dangerous outside. If you're not careful, you will lose your life. And without the blessing of this forest, you will only be able to reach the 3rd level of transcendence when you are most powerful outside. That way, do you want to go out? Quote. Yes, Master Geely, I have had this idea since I was rescued by you last time. Gigi wants to stay by Master Geely's side, is that okay? At this moment, after Gigi said this, she looked at Kagaya with 2 round eyes as big as eggs. How could Kagaya refuse such a cute little girl? She came to show off her enthusiasm, so she agreed to Gigi. Kindness. Hearing Kagaya's reply, Gigi jumped up immediately, and a strange line appeared on her green belly. Master Jia Li, try tapping Gigi's belly. Kagaya raised her bare hand and tapped it lightly on the center of Gigi's belly. Just after Gigi shivered, another green light was transmitted from Kagaya's fingertips to her brain. At this moment, Kagaya also understood that this little thing had entered into a partnership contract with her. From then on, they depended on each other for life. And while doing all this, just as Gigi said, a white light door landed in front of Kagaya in the sky. Kagaya held Shouta with her left hand and held Gigi with her right hand, and walked into the white light door without hesitation. Chapter 256. The ancestors of the four countries come together to join forces. At this moment, Kagaya stepped through the light gate and appeared directly at the bottom of Miyakui Mountain. The moment Kagaya appeared, she was surrounded by people who had been waiting outside. These people are not very strong. The strongest one is just a bald man whose strength is at the peak of the immortal level. The younger brothers behind him have varying strengths. The strongest one is only at the early stage of the immortal level, and the weakest one is only at the early stage of the immortal level. Early days of 6 paths. But there are so many of these guys, I'm afraid they have already deployed their troops in this place. Just when those who entered the secret realm of the Tomb of Gods from the beginning were enjoying the harvest, they stopped them halfway, and used this to I want a piece of the secret realm of the Tomb of Gods. They had intercepted the finances of 2 groups of adventurers before, but this time they met Kagaya. At this time, the leading bald man stood up and looked at Kagaya with squinting eyes, as if he could eat Kagaya in the next moment. Hey, she is still a little beauty. It seems that my brothers will gain both wealth and S**X today. Beauty, how about giving me the pet in your hand, the small tower, and the divine power crystal you obtained, and I will let you go. Kagaya frowned. What if I say no? Say no, ha ha ha, brothers, she said no, ha ha ha. This moment caused everyone around to burst into laughter. The little beauty is still in the queue. If you don't want to be friends, that's fine. As long as you have dinner with me tonight, we can talk about anything. How about it? Hearing these frivolous words, Kagaya didn't want to have any more interactions with these miscellaneous fish. I saw the aura around him surge, and he instantly showed his true strength. He directly reached the 4th level of transcendence. He waved his big hand forward and used it to attack the gray bones. One after another, black bone sticks were directed towards shooting in all directions. Upon seeing this, the strong man and the little Luoluo around them stared, and their bodies quickly retreated back. However, their strength was incomparable to that of Kagaya, and it was too late to even dodge. In just one moment, all the energy from the Ash Bones killer was petrified on the spot. Only the bald man used some secret method to appear 1,000 meters away as if teleporting, successfully evading Kagaya's attack. This killing move. At this moment, when the strong man saw the dozens of brothers who were talking and laughing with him just now, they were turned to stone on the spot, and his eyes were extremely solemn. I'm unlucky to meet a hidden strongman like you this time. Damn it, just wait for me. As he spoke, the strong man turned around and tried to escape. But Kagaya was even faster. She just dodged and stood in front of the strong man. She put Gigi on top of her head, then stretched out her right hand and grabbed the strong man's neck. Tell me who asked you to wait for me here. Don't tell me you don't know, or you'll die. Here, sir, please forgive me. Don't involve me in your disputes. I am also forced to guard you here. Haha, it seems that you have offended him. He must know my strength and let you wait here for me. Isn't it because he wants to kill someone with a borrowed knife? No way, me, FKU, that B************* D Shinigami, he knew your strength, but he didn't tell me that a crystal of divine power sent Lousy here to die. Lousy refused to accept it. But Kagaya didn't care about him. He exerted a little force on his right hand, and only heard a crisp sound of kaba, and the strong man's neck was directly broken. Advertisement. But how can a guy at the peak of the immortal level die so easily? Even if his neck is broken, the strong man still begs for mercy. Senior, let me go. I know the secret of that old B********** D Shinigami. He is not in the country of Yuzan now, and is on the verge of breaking through. Moreover, when he walked out of the secret realm, he was the only one, and all the other 3 kings were dead. Quote. I have been guarding here for almost 3 years, and you have been in the secret realm for 3 months. The time ratio between the secret realm and the Pure Land is different, it is 1:10. Just a few days ago, the kingdom of Zon, the kingdom of Hades, and the kingdom of Kama the strong ones rushed here and said that their king's true spirit Jade Tablet has been broken. And at the foot of the mountain, it has been completely surrounded by strong men from the 3 kingdoms. Senior, don't kill me. I've already told you what I know. When Kagaya heard the news, a burst of energy emerged from her hand, instantly piercing the heart of the bald man in front of her. In the end, I only heard the strong man say, I'm sorry, I'll die anyway. Then he took his last breath. Kagaya murmured, it seems useless to keep you. It seems the only option is to kill you. However, when Kagaya turned around, the bald man who was already dead stood up, with a smile on his face. As expected of Master Jia Li, I knew you wouldn't leave this waste behind, ha ha ha. As expected, you still took action, but even though you came out, the people who are about to greet you are not some simple characters. So I hope you don't die. I'm afraid that I will be too bored by then. After all, in this world, I'm afraid the only person who can fight me is you who has fully recovered your strength. Okay, it's time. I look forward to meeting you. After saying this, the bald man fell to the ground again, this time without any breath. And when the bald man fell, the strong men from the 3 surrounding countries finally arrived and surrounded Hokage in 3 directions. These 3 people are the hidden powerhouses of the 3 major countries, people at the level of supreme elders. They even participated in the action to ban the way of heaven. At this moment, although the 3 of them are gray-haired and have lived for thousands of years, their strength has regressed from the limit of the 9th level of transcendence back then to the 6th level of transcendence. I am afraid that in a short time, their current state will also regress. Time, it seems that no strong person can escape the killing of time. It's just that although these old men are gray-haired, they are still full of energy. One of them looked at Hokage and said, Master Jia, old man, I have been favored by you, but my king was killed by you, and I must seek justice. Yes, and then the 2 of them agreed. Even if the longevity stone is taken away, I will still fight you. However, Hokage didn't know why these guys surrounded her. He asked curiously, what, do you have something to do with me? HMPH, Lord Shinigami, stop acting. Shinigami told us everything you did. At first, I didn't believe you could kill Lord Netherworld and Lord Zon. Until Master Shinigami took out the space image, I only then did I realize that my former allies had defected to other places. Although you are kind to the 3 major kingdom lords, this is not the reason for you to kill them. Come back with me. You will not be judged by me, but by the ancestors of the 4 countries together. If you stubbornly resist, I will not be polite. Chapter 257 Star Weapon, Li Shen's Sword. Hearing this, Hokage seemed to understand something at this moment. It turned out that Shinigami had planned everything long ago and let Baldhead, the cannon fodder, stop him. He wanted to leave immediately. On the other side, he informed the masters of the 3 kingdoms that he appeared here. It's very possible that Shinigami shied away the death of the 3 kingdoms lords from me and forged the space image. The shattering of the true spirit jade card of the 3 kingdoms lords must have an inescapable connection with that guy Shinigami. Thinking of this, Hokage felt bad for a while. I was fooled by that guy Shinigami. But even so, Hokage, am not someone who can be manipulated at will. At this moment, Hokage snorted, let's not talk about whether I killed them or not. Even if I did, they deserve to die. I remember that I trained them for hundreds of years, and now they all betrayed me. So are you, all ungrateful fellows. The 3 old men knew that they would definitely have a falling out this time, and then they looked at Hokage and said, Jia, you came here from another world thousands of years ago and took over one side. It is true that you have helped us a lot, but that is not the reason for you to kill people randomly. Brother Ming, Brother Yan, we can't drag it on any longer. That guy just resurrected from his turning state. Now is the best time to kill him. Good. As they spoke, the 3 of them took a jade pendant-shaped stone from their chests at the same time. The moment the stone left their bodies, the breath of the 3 began to surge. The strength that originally transcended the 6th level limit had already reached the 9th level limit in just 2 breaths, rising by 3 small realms in an instant. However, the increase in this realm was not over yet. After seeing streaks of red light overflowing from the bodies of the 3 of them, their strength more than doubled again. Finally settled in the realm of false gods. The realm at this moment. As long as you have your own small world, you can immediately break through to the god level. This guy Shinigami is in this state now. At this time, after the strength of the ancestors of the 3 major countries increased, their self-confidence skyrocketed again. Looking at Hokage, she shouted loudly, death. At this time, when Hokage saw the aura around her opponent rising from the 7th level of transcendence to the limit of the 9th level, she already knew that this was not a situation she could handle. He closed his eyes for a moment and gave control of his body to Otsutsuki. And when Datong Mukili opened his eyes, 12 Magatama appeared in his white eyes, and circles of ripples rotated in his eyes at the same time. The strength that was originally beyond the 4th level has directly become a pseudo-god level. Although the 3 of them were powerful, they all chose to retreat when faced with Jia Li's eyes. At this time, the state of the 3 of them changed from Sistanch wrong just now to extremely cautious. This strong man whom he once admired has already left an indelible mark on his heart. Just when the 3 of them felt guilty, Jia Li would not tolerate these 3 losers. I saw 3 heart swords in front of Jia Li shooting out of his eyes and instantly coming to the front of the 3 of them. The 3 of them knew that this was Jia Li's heart sword, so they didn't dare to fight head-on. They could only retreat and expand their own areas to block the attack of the heart sword, but it was of no use. The 3 peoples Baidu domain and Vulcan domain, and the evil soul realm, none of them can compete with the heart sword head-on. Seeing that the milky white 3-handled heart sword was getting closer and closer to them, the 3 of them had to use their own means to save their lives. At this moment, the 3 of them shouted at the same time, come out. Poison soul sword, fire demon sword, and 10,000 evil halberds. Advertisement. After saying these words, 3 ice blades carrying a terrifying aura solidified in the hands of the 3 people. These were definitely 3 natal star weapons. It is a terrifying existence that transcends artifacts. Where the 3 ice blades appear, the surrounding space cannot bear the pressure of the 3 weapons. And form countless careful spaces Uzumaki. These 3 people hold swords in their hands, and their confidence is greatly increased. He raised his sword and struck at Jia Li's heart sword. PFF'd. Click, ding. 3 different sounds spread tens of thousands of meters away. The guys who had just come out of the secret realm were all curious about who was fighting on Miyakui Mountain. But when everyone came to this battlefield, they all began to regret it. Damn it, when the gods fight, we weaklings suffer. That's right, these guys were hit by countless space wind blades in the sky when they first came here. They were killed and injured, and they ran away. They wished they had 2 more legs, maybe this would be faster. And the battlefield at this time. Otsutsuki's expression was solemn. These 3 guys didn't know where they got the star weapons. There were still 3 handles. It seems that I have to be a little more serious. As he said that, Otsutsuki held his right hand toward the sky. Li Shenjian, come on. With just this soft cry, a small black hole immediately appeared in the space, and a slender sword emerged from the black hole. He was instantly held in Otsutsuki's hand. At this moment, Li held this star weapon as if he were an old friend for hundreds of years. You still haven't changed. It's a pity that your master has been reincarnated for 9 lives and I haven't been able to find his whereabouts. But this time I need you to accompany me to kill these rebellious guys. At this moment, the golden body was like summoning, trembling twice, as if agreeing to Otsutsuki's request. I saw Jia Li slashing his right hand towards the sky. The space of this pure land was directly cut open by this sword. At this time, the ancestors of the 3 major countries also swung a sword, a knife, and a halberd. 4 horses collided together. Boom, a shocking explosion. In an instant, all the Miyakui mountain with a radius of 100,000 acres was reduced to flat ground. The next moment, 3 embarrassed figures emerged from the huge mound of soil and patted the soil on their bodies. How about Brother Yan, is that woman dead? The ancestor of the kingdom of the underworld immediately sensed it when he heard it. Hey, the woman's aura disappeared. She shouldn't be killed so easily, right? I don't think it's possible, but where did that woman go? Suddenly, on the ground next to the 3 of them, an exquisite small tower swayed twice, then stood up. A white figure emerged from the small tower, and the Li Shenjian in his hand swung out again. Without any bells and whistles, the 3 of them felt what was behind them. The terrifying sword light, use your natal star weapon to block. With 3 crisp sounds of ding, 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 ding. Seeing this, Kagayaji disappeared in an instant and came back in front of the 3 people. She raised the Li Shenjian in her hand and was about to slash it down again, but the space behind her suddenly opened, and a long bloody whip, like a dragon and snake, hit Jia Li directly. Jia Li had no time to react, so he could only swing his sword in the middle, fine-tuning his body position, avoiding the vital parts, and was pierced by the dragon snake-like chain on his shoulder. This chain seemed to be spiritual and started to bind Kagayaji. At this moment, this person succeeded in a sneak attack. Seeing this scene, he laughed with confidence. Ha 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 ha, I've been waiting for this moment for a full hour, and finally you revealed a flaw. Chapter 258 The Power of Divine Magic. And the owner of this voice is not Shinigami, who else could it be? But when Jia Li sensed the danger, his body was already entangled with this strange chain, and he was tied into a rice dumpling in an instant. Jia Li struggled hard under the chain, and Gigi also bared his teeth, and started to bite the chain. But with a body as small as Gigi's, how could he possibly bite something like a star weapon that transcended divine weapons? At this moment, Gigi, a little kid, could only pull hard, trying to rescue Zili. But with so little power, there is nothing we can do. However, Jia Li is the strongest person in thousands of years, and his many methods are not inferior to those of real lower gods. Jili's little mouth opened slightly and he recited a string of strange Sanskrit words. Then Jili's clothes started to flutter, lifting up the chains that were wrapped around his body and freeing Jili's hands. After Jia Li muttered something with his left hand, a stream of sky fire surged out of his body and swept across a kilometer in an instant, suppressing the ancestor of the 3 major kingdoms who had just stood up to the ground. When Shinigami saw this, he took one end of the chain and pushed hard to the left, trying to pull Jia Li back. But Jia Li already knew Shinigami's movements, and kicked the ground with his right leg again. The mountains, rivers, and land changed directly. The area around Shinigami instantly turned into a huge ravine, and the ravine was still closing rapidly. Shinigami could only loosen the chain at this moment, push his palms to both sides, and shouted, "God and demon lock, the earth has fallen." Only a loud explosion was heard. Then a chain flew out of Shinigami's body again. The chain formed an absolute defensive zone around Shinigami, and then slammed into the earth. Make a huge roar. At this moment, the mountains on both sides miraculously stopped just before they were about to press against Shinigami. Seeing this, Jia Li didn't want to give Shinigami any chance to breathe, so he yelled, "Divine Technique, Qixing Furious Dragon Slash." At this moment, a powerful attack was launched again, and a huge fire dragon was seen in Jia Li's body, spiraling up to the 9 heavens. A tangible sword light in the fire dragon's body was rapidly condensing, and the terrifying pressure made the earth sink 1 meter again. However, just as the ancestors of the 3 kingdoms were about to get up, the pressure of Jia Li's fire dragon directly acted on the heads of the 3 of them, and the 3 of them were sadly pressed into the earth again. Shinigami had seen the Otsutsuki god style use this attack before, cutting a planet in half. The terrifying sword light is still vivid in my mind, but at this time it was emitted by Jia Li, and its power was reduced by almost 10%, but even so, Shinigami did not dare to take it hard. At this moment, the 1,000-foot sword light had fallen, and Shinigami could not avoid it. His eyes were solemn. Shinigami painfully took out a dark coffin and instantly lay down in it. The lid is on. The huge sword light fell and struck on the dark coffin. Click, ding, boom, several terrifying explosions came out, but the expected shattering of the coffin did not happen. Instead, a branch appeared on the ground behind the coffin to a place tens of kilometers away. A huge ditch 100 feet deep. It wasn't until the 1,000-foot sword light disappeared that the ditch slowly closed partially. Looking at the coffin again, it was lying on the ground intact. However, the dark ink color on the coffin had dissipated, leaving only an unknown wooden streak. Empty shell. Shinigami put away the coffin in pain, secretly thinking it was a pity. If it weren't for my inconvenience to break through now, I would have killed you long ago. But at this moment, Jia Li saw that his attack was ineffective and started to form seals with his hands again. In an instant, Shinigami knew that something was wrong. Is this woman crazy? She dares to use magic like this. As he spoke, he prepared to take back the chain. Unfortunately, he was still a step too late. I saw a black light shining on the seal in Jia Li's hand. In an instant, the black light enveloped a radius of 10,000 meters. The moment Shinigami saw this black light, he didn't even dare to take the chain of his star weapon and directly used his clone. Technique replaced the main body and left the Miyakui mountain realm in an instant. In a luxurious underground palace thousands of miles away, a figure exactly like Shinigami was sitting on a dark magic horn dragon chair, and below him, dozens of figures stood upright, all of them seemed to be serious. Zaining listened to Shinigami's plan. Advertisement. But suddenly, the face of Shinigami in front of him became illusory and disappeared in front of everyone in an instant. And the next moment, Shinigami's true body finally escaped the magic of Jia Li through Senjutsu and substitute replacement technique, and came to his country of Yuzan. At this moment, everyone below was looking at each other, not knowing what was going on, but Tianyuan and Tianbao were Shinigami's right-hand men after Wushan and Zanji. The two of them immediately knelt down on one knee and said, "Welcome Shinigami-sama to return." Only then did the guys behind him react and kneel down one after another. "Welcome back, Shinigami-sama." But as soon as Shinigami appeared, he staggered and almost fell to his knees, but in the end he straightened his back with strong will. "Look at the subordinates in front of you." An angry curse. That guy used such a terrifying magic just after he was resurrected. But this is okay. After she uses the sacred tree this time, it will take at least a long time for her physical body to return to the state of her divine body. Ha 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 ha. There is no Geely, nor the ancestors of the other 3 countries. Now we are in the country of Yuzan, is the master of this pure land. Tian Yuan, Tian Bao. My subordinate is here. I order you two to be the vanguard and start to recover all the territories of the 3 kingdoms. I will unify this pure land world within a month. The subordinates below heard this and felt that Shinigami was crazy, but looking back, they thought, Shinigami has never been normal. Immediately relieved, Shinigami spoke again. Tianbao, sent someone to pass the news to Wushan and Zanji, tell them that they don't have to come back, and the kingdom of Zan will be left to them too. The rest of the people will assist Tianyuan and Tianbao to win over the 3 major countries as soon as possible. After the words fell, everyone took the order. The hall that was full of people just now disappeared without a trace in an instant. Then Shinigami stamped his foot, and a dark shadow walked out from the shadow of Shinigami's magic dragon chair. Meet Shinigami. Any orders? Shinigami was not angry when he heard that this guy was not polite to him at all, because this guy's strength was on par with Shinigami's, and he was proud of it. At this moment, Shinigami spoke. The leader of the country of Jia Li, was attacked by me and forced to use divine magic. His body will degrade to the 9th level of transcendence in the near future. His strength is a few points worse than yours. I hope you can take action and help me kill him. How about I give you your freedom after it's done? HMPH. Empty words. Take a look at this contract and sign it. I will leave directly after killing Jia Li. Without even looking at it, Shinigami waved his hand and spit out a burst of soul energy on the contract. Shinigami's eyes narrowed and he said, "Take it." Seeing that Shinigami was so direct, the black shadow put away the scroll and disappeared again into a black shadow. At this time, Shinigami raised the corner of his mouth. "Humph, you want to leave? Wait until I break through to the middle god, and I'll see where you can go." Chapter 259 Great Strength and the 5th Stage of Super Transformation. Deep Blue. After saying this, Shinigami smiled and pressed a switch on the magic dragon seat, and instantly a 1-meter thick stone door behind him slowly opened. As soon as the secret room was opened, a terrifying divine power spread out. Upon closer inspection, the entire secret room was actually made of red crystals of divine power. Shinigami looked at the secret room with satisfaction and then walked into it. He began to sit cross-legged and meditate, and the stone door slowly closed. At this time, all the divine power in the secret room poured into Shinigami's body crazily. At this moment, Shinigami's plan that has been prepared for thousands of years has finally come true. While rapidly absorbing divine power, it is also frantically absorbing the foundations of the 3 major kingdom masters. At a glance, you can tell that this guy is trying to break through twice in a row. I want to break through to the terrifying realm of the middle god at once. At the same time, on the battlefield of Miyakui Mountain, after Shinigami disappeared, the black light in Jia Li's hand began to shine in all directions indiscriminately. At this moment, anyone who was exposed to this black light would all look at Jia Li above their heads with dull eyes. Then he knelt down on his knees and began to bow towards Jia Li. It was as if they were worshipping their gods. And this ability can only be unleashed by Otsutsuki Kai Li, who has already become a god. It is also the most powerful skill given to him by Otsutsuki divine form. Divinity, the radiance of prayer. Anyone who is illuminated by this light at this moment and whose strength is lower than him will instantly become the ultimate loyal believer of Otsutsuki. Jia Li didn't even look at the guys who were kneeling on the ground to worship him. He turned around and used Juji Tianya, and his figure disappeared instantly. After Jia Li disappeared, a group of cultivators 10,000 meters below slowly woke up. After seeing themselves kneeling, they all exclaimed, "What the hell am I doing? What the hell are you doing standing in front of me, trying to take advantage of me, you idiot? FKU. I just F asterisk 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 G stood up. Who knows what's going on?" Everyone started asking at this moment, but without the strength, they might never get the answer. And when the ancestor of the 3 major countries stood up with blood vomiting at the mouth, his strength dropped again due to excessive injuries. His strength, which was originally the 6th level of transcendence, was now only the 3rd level. But this time after taking the longevity stone, the strength and longevity were greatly reduced at the same time. At this moment, there are less than 10 years to live. For such a strong person, who has been in seclusion for several years, it is equivalent to already died. The 3 of them looked at each other. I didn't expect that Jili would still be the terrifyingly powerful Jili. It seems like we really deserve to die. Let's go, it's time to go back and make arrangements for the funeral. With that said, the 3 of them turned around and flew away towards their own country. At this time, Otsutsuki was about to leave, 100 miles away from here, and spit out a mouthful of blood 10 meters away. His body was on the verge of collapse, and even cracks appeared in some places. After all, the divine body was forced to use 2 magical spells before it could recover. The damage to the divine body was immeasurable. Jili's consciousness gradually receded, and Kagayaji took over the body. But he was also extremely weak. He randomly found a hidden place and began to eat fairy beans to recover from his injuries. However, the fairy beans had basically no effect on restoring the damage to the divine body and could only restore the energy loss. At this moment, the scene changed and came to the Tianji Tower. Qixing has already placed 5 divine corpses in the formation, and the energy in the divine corpses has almost been absorbed by the formation. At this moment, on the 4th floor of the Tianji building, the space-time acceleration and gravity chamber was covered with dense mist of divine power. The concentration was terrifying enough to form a liquid state. Just listen to the system beep. Advertisement. Ding. Congratulations to host, you successfully decomposed 4 lower-level divine corpses and 1 mid-level divine corpse. Ding. I would like to ask host, if you want to spend points to quickly absorb divine power. Close black lens bracket. Yes. Ding. Divine power is being rapidly absorbed, 10,000 points per minute. Close black lens bracket. Ding. The system has detected that the host's strength has not yet reached the god level, so it starts protection mode and converts the divine power into natural energy. The natural energy has the same source as the host's physical energy, and the absorption range is increased. Close black lens bracket. Ding. Congratulations to host for raising his strength to the 2nd level of transcendence. Close black lens bracket. Ding. Congratulations to host. Thanks to the divine power, the fusion degree of Super Saiyan bloodline has increased by 1%. Close black lens bracket. Ding. Congratulations to host for raising his strength to the 3rd level of transcendence. Close black lens bracket. Ding. Congratulations to host. Thanks to the divine power, the fusion degree of Super Saiyan bloodline has increased by 1%. Close black lens bracket. Ding. Congratulations to host for raising his strength to the 4th level of transcendence. Close black lens bracket. Ding. Congratulations to host. Thanks to the divine power, the fusion degree of Super Saiyan bloodline has increased by 1%. Close black lens bracket. Ding. Congratulations to host for raising his strength to the 5th level of transcendence. Close black lens bracket. Ding. Congratulations to host. Thanks to the divine power, the fusion degree of Super Saiyan bloodline has reached 50%. Start the 5th stage of Super Race Transformation, Deep Blue. Close black lens bracket. Ding. The natural energy has been consumed. This time host spent a total of 60,000 points. Close black lens bracket. And the moment Qixing opened his eyes, the Super Sailor transformation around him started automatically. In just a blink of an eye, a terrifying wave of blue air swept through the gravity room again. As time goes by, the blue flames around Qixing become deeper and deeper. Eventually it changes from normal blue to dark blue. And as Qixing's body moved, there was an explosion in his body. It is obvious that Qixing's strength has been greatly improved this time, and his physical fitness has also been greatly enhanced. Also due to the terrifying improvement of the Super Sailor transformation, the strength that was originally only the 5th level of transcendence was instantly upgraded to the state of a pseudo-god. At this moment, Qixing finally had the strength to dominate this Pure Land world. At this time, Qixing just wanted to stabilize his realm as soon as possible, and then go out and give Kagaya Hime Seiko a big surprise in this Pure Land world. As he spoke, he sat cross-legged again in this space where gravity and time and space accelerated. Looking outside the small tower, at the top of Miyakui Mountain, which is 100 kilometers away from Kagaya Hime, an uninvited guest suddenly came. I saw a light door clearly opened in the sky, but no one could be seen coming out of it. After just a few breaths, the light door closed again. However, no one noticed that a transparent shadow had already fallen to the ground. The shadow only briefly explored the surrounding atmosphere and quickly identified the whereabouts of Kagaya-ji. Then the shadow turned into a stream of light, heading towards the place where Kagaya Hime was recovering. At this moment, Kagaya-ji stood up, her aura strengthened, and her strength restored to 70%. Although her divine body was damaged, her sixth sense told Kagaya-ji that danger was coming. Chapter 260 Shadow Assassination, Time and Space Suspended. At this time, Kagaya-ji sensed the surroundings, but did not sense the location of the source of danger at all. We can only choose the direction of the deserted city and move forward quickly. And just a few minutes after Kagaya Hime left, a transparent ghostly shadow appeared in the place where Kagaya Hime had been meditating just now. This person touched the ground with his hand. It was still warm. He must have been gone for less than 3 minutes. Could it be that they have discovered my trace, or have sensed the danger coming? Hehe, as expected of Master Geely, can you still sense danger coming even if your divine body is damaged? It looks like this challenge will be interesting. With that said, the shadow turned into nothingness and chased in the direction of Kagaya Hime again. However, after Kagaya Hime rushed for nearly 100 kilometers, the bone-chilling sense of danger not only did not diminish but intensified. Kagaya Hime could only use the shadow clone technique, and instantly 3 figures exactly like Kagaya Hime walked side by side. Each clone carried his personal clothes, and then the 3 clones kept changing their positions. The main body simultaneously used soar to the end. Blood spurted out in several directions, disturbing its own direction. At the same time, Kagaya-ji was also thinking about who it was. It makes me feel so dangerous. However, when Kagaya-ji's figure was about to arrive at the outskirts of the deserted city, the space around her suddenly split open, and then there was a terrifying and fatal killing intent. Kagaya-ji knew that she had no way to hide, so she could only dodge desperately to avoid the vital parts, and then used it very close to Tianya. While blood spattered, Kagaya-ji's figure also appeared thousands of meters away in an instant. Looking at the crack in the void, I saw a transparent shadow that had turned into a human form and appeared at the place where Kagaya-ji disappeared just now. However, this person was completely covered in black robes, and his appearance could not be seen clearly. Seeing Kagaya-ji at this time, her left shoulder was pierced by her own dagger. The figure in black robe smiled without haste. As expected of Lord Lishan, I chased the wrong 2 of your clones. I didn't expect Lord Lishan will also come up with such little tricks to deceive my perception. Is this really the end of the road? Quote. Hearing this, Kagaya-ji finally remembered who the guy in front of her was through her distant memories. He is the #1 killer in the entire Pure Land world. He has shot nearly 1,000 times without missing a beat. He is nicknamed Wushangyingsha. At this moment, Kagaya-ji snorted, Shadow kill, I didn't expect it to be you. Why, you want to kill me too? Haha, Master Jia Li, long time no see, oh no, probably 100 years. The last time I saw you was more than 100 years ago. That should have been your 8th reincarnation. Right. This must be your 9th reincarnation. What a miraculous ability. You look so young and beautiful every time you are resurrected. But it's a pity that this time someone offered me a bargaining chip that I can't refuse, buying your life. Otherwise, I wouldn't be willing to be an enemy of a terrifying existence like you. Haha, it's interesting. Of course there are things that you, the #1 killer in the Pure Land, can't refuse. Apart from freedom, there's nothing you can't refuse, right? Ha 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 ha. Hearing Kagaya-ji's words, Shadow laughed crazily. As expected of Master Geely, you still understand me so well. Advertisement. Shadow, do you really think that a guy like Shinigami who has calculated everything will let you go so easily? You know too many of his secrets. I'm afraid that if he breaks through again, you will be the first one he wants to kill. Quote. Thank you, Mr. Geely, for reminding me. Of course I have thought of this, but I am free to do whatever I want, but the most critical issue now is that you are going to die here today. HMPH, you, a person who hides his head and shows his tail, still want to kill me. After saying this, Kagayaji directly handed over the control of her body to the injured Zili's soul, although the injury to Zili's soul had not healed. But it is much stronger than the fourth level of transcendence. The moment the Shadow Kill dagger stabbed over, Otsutsuki opened his eyes again, and the terrifying aura soared directly to the ninth level of transcendence, and the iconic 12 Magatama Rinnegan was too powerful, and the Shadow Kill dagger stabbed him. The dagger was just about to approach Jia Li's forehead, but was forced to stop. Yingsha missed a hit and wanted to retreat, but a black bone spear was thrown out from the palm of Jia Li's hand, stabbing Yingsha's body. In just a moment, Yingsha's body was petrified and fell to the ground with a crash. But Jia Li knew that this guy Yingsha would not die so easily. The black bone spear was thrown out again towards the void behind him, and a sound of fine iron clashing sounded there. But when Jia Li threw out a bone spear again, there was no trace of Shadow Kill there. At this moment, Zali was not in a hurry. While forming seals with his hands, he pressed it fiercely on his chest. A huge flame energy ring spread instantly to a radius of 1 kilometer. 100 meters below and to the left of Zali, Shadow Kill's figure was killed. Force out. Seeing this guy's figure, Ji Li was not polite. He opened his big hand and stretched it forward, and then roared. Sage Art. Fire Style. 10,000 Bones Kill. With Shadow Kill as the center, within a radius of 100 meters, a fire suddenly rose, and then countless black and red bone spears appeared directly in the flames. The black bone spears kept shuttling in the void flames, carrying along the long flame tail formed a huge cage. Just then, Jia Li shouted angrily again, blow it up. There was a loud bang, the black bone spear cage exploded, and the sky was filled with gray powder covering a kilometer radius. At this moment, Shadow Kill was inevitable, but at this moment, behind Zha Li, a silver-white dagger emerged from the void and stabbed directly into his waist. Ji Li's face immediately changed slightly and he reacted. Sage Art. Wind Style. 10,000 Repulsion Arrays. When this skill was used, Yingsha's dagger had already pierced into Jia Li's waist, but was instantly deflected hundreds of feet away. Shadow Shaw licked the blood from the corner of his mouth and looked at the gray dust falling from time to time within a kilometer around him. He knew that with this thing around, he could no longer be invisible. I simply stopped hiding in shadow killing. Everyone thought that my strength was only stealth assassination, but they didn't know that all the guys who had seen my swordsmanship were dead. So, Master Geely, you have to die today. After saying this, the dagger in Shadow Killer's hand was suddenly replaced by a long silver sword. The silver sword flashed with cold light and flew towards Ji Li automatically. When Jia Li saw this magical swordsmanship, he was shocked. This is sword control, how could you possibly do it? But at this moment, it was too late to think too much. Jia Li took out his long whip and rolled it directly towards the flying sword, but the flying sword seemed to have eyes wide open and stabbed straight towards Jia Li's chest. Ji Li can only use the ability of the 12 Magatama Rinnegan. For an instant, time and space paused 2 meters away from the surrounding area.